ceasefire now in question. The U.S. and Iran exchanging fire overnight around the Strait of Hormuz. President Trump posting that critics should calm down because it will all work out. All of it leading to more pain at the pump, says ABC's Mary Bruce.
Gas is up more than $1.30 since the war began. There's a new analysis from Moody's that says that the average American household is now paying $450 more in gas and energy since the war started. So the economic pain of this is real.
Tina Peters is out of prison. She's the former clerk from Colorado convicted of pushing election conspiracy theories and breaching security after the 2020 election. She was let out early after pressure on the governor from President Trump. Serena Williams coming back to professional tennis 4 years after she retired. She accepted a wildcard invitation to play doubles at an upcoming tournament. The number of deaths believed to be from Ebola, now more than 280 with 1,000 suspected cases. This is ABC News. The driver of that bus that plowed into several cars stopped for construction on I-95 in Virginia last week has now been charged with involuntary manslaughter. 5 people were killed in the crash, including a mother, a father, and their 2 children who were headed to a family wedding in South Carolina. Let's give some respect to the lowly pigeon. The little birds have something that amounts to a compass in their liver, researchers say. ABC's Wayne Cabot has her story.
Studies of pigeon migration show that they have an internal compass. German scientists finding a magnetic-like material in their liver that aligns with the Earth's magnetic field. University of Bonn researcher Christian Kurtz.
Our study also contains evidence all these macrophages in the liver are connected to nerves. They all go to the brain.
Wild species migrate seasonally up to 1,200 miles. The common city pigeon just kind of hangs around, within a mile or two. Wayne Cabot, ABC News.
I'm Sherry Preston, ABC News.
Deputies arrested 2 suspects who gunned down a 17-year-old in Parkland. But first, let's get a check on the roads with your KIRO Newsradio real-time traffic. There's an 8-mile backup on southbound 405 from Canyon Park to 85th in Kirkland. 2 express lanes there are blocked. Everett to Bellevue, about an hour and 40 minutes right now. Everett to Seattle, just under an hour, about 50 minutes. The Valley Freeway is still heavy right now. Traffic is a crawl. Federal Way to Seattle, about 50 minutes. The last 2 miles will be a struggle. And Lake Bridges, so far, so good. This traffic report is brought to you by the Seattle Mariners. Don't miss firework nights all summer long, presented by T-Mobile. The next show is June 19th. Get your tickets at mariners.com/fireworks.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning. I'm Katrina Gashar. 2 people have been arrested in connection with the murder of 17-year-old Braylon Diaz in Parkland. The Pierce County Sheriff's Office tells the News Tribune a 26-year-old woman and a 25-year-old man were taken into custody this morning in Snohomish County. Deputies say the pair pulled up in a car, robbed Diaz of his jewelry, and shot him. Deputies are still searching for 2 more suspects. Just 40 hours after Seattle city leaders replaced neighbor-installed planters to completely block the streets from drive-by shootouts with traffic calming blocks, KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey reports there was another shooting.
Early Sunday morning, gunfire just off Aurora Avenue in North Seattle. And just like the 95 other shootings the last 2 years, Andrew had the same reaction.
We have a routine when we hear shots. We each grab a kid as fast as possible and as low as possible and go to the back room.
Neighbors question whether the concrete barriers the city has now installed in place of their homemade metal barricades will do much to reduce the violence. Unlike the original roadblocks, the new barriers only slow traffic linked to pimps and sex buyers. They don't stop it entirely. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
City leaders are holding a neighborhood safety meeting this week. Meanwhile, all 11 victims from the Longview Mill implosion have now been recovered and identified. KIRO 7 TV's Jake Chapman reports.
The pain still lingers in Longview.
And now all these people's lives are destroyed, and you can't bring them back.
11 lives lost after a chemical vat at the DuPont Dynawave packaging plant imploded.
Right now, our focus remains on supporting the families, supporting our members, and supporting everyone affected by this tragedy in every way possible.
The implosion also spilled hundreds of thousands of gallons of white liquor, which got into the diking and ditching system for the city through stormwater outfalls.
The Longview Fire Department has given an update on the survivors of the implosion. 4 have been treated and released, including a firefighter, and 3 remain in the hospital. 2 openly gay Seattle police officers are suing the city, claiming they were passed over for promotions because of their sexual orientation. Detective Anna Fishnell and Lieutenant Douglas Garusko filed the lawsuit Friday in King County Superior Court. According to our sister station, Seattle Red 770 AM, both say they ranked number 1 on their promotion list and got nothing. Fischel, a single mom and 19-year veteran, says Chief Sean Barnes offered her an overnight patrol shift instead of the sergeant job she earned. The city has not yet commented. Brandy Carlisle turned her annual Gorge weekend into a full-blown birthday celebration.
You can love me like a man.
Carlisle powered through her set with what she called her Gorge voice, mixing in new songs with classics like The Story. She turns 45 today. And for your KIRO News Radio real-time weather, that is, sunny skies expected later today. Highs will be close to 80. Right now, it's about 59 in downtown Seattle. I'm Katrina Gashard, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Hey, good morning, everybody. It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Happy Monday to all of you. Good morning to you, Ursula.
Good morning. It's a beautiful day. We're talking about maybe the hottest day of the year so far. Tomorrow, summer's almost here. The kids are going to be out of school soon. Is it okay for your kids to rot all summer, or are you planning all sorts of camps for them? We'll talk about that coming up at 9:30. As always, the Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line is ready. It is primed for your comments. 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO.
Top stories of the day brought to you by Pendergast Law.
Well, Seattle's almost here. Seattle's summer is almost here. It is June 1st, and the World Cup matches are just around the corner. And the big question this morning is, are we ready? Seattle's going to be hosting 6 World Cup matches at Lumen Field between June 15th and July 6th, including a Team USA match, 2 knockout round games, and organizers, as you know, G, are expecting hundreds of thousands of visitors, and hundreds of millions of dollars are going to be spent here during that event. And city leaders say they're ready. Transit service is going to be expanded. The road construction is going to be paused, and fan events are planned throughout downtown. But there are still some very serious concerns about public safety. And when we had Seattle City Council member Rob Saka on the show, he said he has been pushing to activate additional security cameras before the World Cup.
And those cameras in the city of Boston help make a difference and help investigators quickly respond, identify the attackers, and ultimately prevent further tragedies. We're hosting a big global event here in Seattle. We have the technology in place. Let's turn it on.
But as we've talked about, Mayor Katie Wilson has paused plans to turn on some of those cameras because she says there are concerns from the immigrant and civil liberties groups about surveillance and how that technology could be used. My question is simple for everybody who's listening right now. Do you feel we are ready to welcome the world, or is this event going to be exposing some serious challenges that we face?
We don't know. We've never done a World Cup here, and the answer is do I think we're yeah. Sometimes, you know, Ursula, I've done events, and I do events all the time. And sometimes when you're preparing for an event, you always look at the worst case scenarios. Well, what happens if this happens and this happens? What happens if this happens? At the end of the day, the show will go on no matter what. No matter what, June 15th, June 19th, there's going to be 6 matches at Lumen Field. No matter what, it's going to happen. So what do I actually think? Selfishly, because I just went and recently got my credentials downtown, and I got a little excited doing that. I think that there will be a lot of people that will say, oh, is Seattle ready? And then when the party starts and it starts happening, it's going to do very well here in Seattle.
Now, you're in a different and unique position because you're going to be emceeing the events, right? I mean, is that your actual role?
In the game. I'll be inside of the stadium during the games.
Okay, so you will have access to parking, et cetera. I'm curious, anyone listening right now who has a plan for how you're going to deal with World Cup traffic, for example? Because if you drove around anywhere over the weekend with the closure of 405 and what was going on 520, traffic was a nightmare.
How does Seattle do during baseball All-Star here? They did great. Like, what I'm saying is that one thing we can all agree with when it comes to Seattle, they do a pretty good job when the moment is called for, right? When the moment is when they had playoff baseball and still had to do football here at the same time. And so
Taylor Swift coming into town.
Yeah, so the idea is one thing that we do know for sure. Everybody's used to traffic, even when there's no event going on. It could be Saturday, it could be Sunday. There's always traffic. That's one. Two, we can rest for sure, like, if there's someone who technology on their side, and I'll take myself out of being a part of the whole thing, like, we don't have anything to go off of to say that Seattle will fail. I believe that
I don't think Seattle's going to fail.
You know what I mean? So, like, as far as preparation, I don't think that's Seattle. We've never seen the World Cup. And I think that even leads to the excitement because we are we're exactly 15, June 15th. It's going to be the first match.
I'm coming back from my vacation on the day it starts.
Oh,
good.
So, so I got to figure out, because I have to drive through this area, right? And I think the traffic is going to be unavoidable.
I mean,
but I know I'm just curious, folks who are listening right now, if you're like, I'm just going to stay away, if you're not going to attend any of the games, which many people won't, are you going to stay away? Are you going to try to take part in the festivities? What is your excitement level for World Cup? 1 to 10. Like, what is your excitement level?
10.
Yeah, of course.
10.
Yeah.
10. 10.
I get
I'm
it.
looking forward to it. It should be fun.
So there were 2 arrests this morning in the robbery and murder of a Parkland teen who was gunned down after handing over his necklace. You might recall this story. Pierce County investigators say these suspects were taken into custody around 3 this morning, and they're now facing allegations that include murder, robbery, and drive-by shooting. And detectives say they know who the other suspects are, and they expect to make more arrests. The victim was 17-year-old Braylon Diaz. He was a junior at Washington High School. Investigators say he was walking with his girlfriend on May 24th when a car pulled up. Caitlin Zuniga tells King 5 News they were walking from his house when these guys in a red Nissan pulled over.
They approached us. They told him to give up his necklace. He gave it up willingly. He didn't care about the necklace. They just shot him. He protected me his last few seconds. He was always a protector. He always cared about me. He would always take care of everyone around him. He didn't hang around those type of people. He was the biggest nerd I knew. He cared so much about school. He was a big family guy. He loved his family so much.
Now, investigators located the vehicle believed to have been involved in the crime, and that is what helped lead detectives to the suspects being arrested.
Yeah. Now, how long ago did this happen, Ursula? A week, 2 weeks ago?
It was on May 24th, so it's about a week.
Yeah. And now that we're that far away from it, and the fact that, I mean, we don't know all of the details surrounding it, but this story is really scary. It's scary in a sense of, man, it's still daylight outside. There's not like this person, this young man who has been described by, of course, his girlfriend there and just his family. People down in Tacoma are really hurting from this. Even if you are a stranger and you don't know this family, I'm sure you have to be hurting from a story like this, because this is one of those stories that it literally could happen to anyone. And these awful folks alleged to have just taken this young man's life.
Over a necklace that he already gave.
For what? For what? Now his life's gone, and now your life's ruined.
Well, and I hope that they arrest everyone who was involved. And I will say that I think the fact that there was so much attention given could only help lead to these arrests. And I'm glad to hear that someone has been arrested. Well, that was the sound of more gunfire just 48 hours after Seattle replaced neighbor-installed barriers meant to stop drive-by shootings. Gunfire erupted again in North Seattle. In the last 2 years, there have been 95 shootings in this area. Number 96 happened early Sunday morning. And police say the violence, as you know, Gee, is tied to ongoing turf wars between rival pimps along Aurora Avenue. And last week, frustrated residents installed the large planters to block side streets, but Mayor Katie Wilson ordered them removed and replaced them with concrete barriers that were designed to slow traffic instead. And over the weekend, Seattle Police Chief Sean Barnes and reps from the mayor's office met with residents, but after another shooting just hours later, many are wondering whether anyone at City Hall actually understands the urgency here.
Yeah, I just don't know how right now, other than the deployment of more officers, outside of that, what else can be done? No, I'm being serious when I say that. Like, other than deployment of more officers, as they're going down the street, roaming, whether they're on foot or in vehicles, the only time that they can really respond to something, unfortunately, is when something happens. So, yeah, this is very unfortunate.
Well, the other thing that could happen, and we had former King County Sheriff John Urquhart on the show Friday, and he said, among other things, he said Seattle City Attorney Erica Evans needs to prosecute those who violate the city's soap zone.
And the soap ordinance is one of the biggest things they could do. And, boy, she ought to get her act together, that city attorney, and work on those soap ordinances.
Over the weekend, too, Gee, I read in the Seattle Times that Washington has one of the highest rates of child sex trafficking in the entire western part of the United States. The average victim first being exploited at 14 years old, and Aurora Avenue is one of the busiest corridors in the entire country when it comes to kids being sex trafficked.
Yeah, I can't wait till we talk to, at 10 o'clock, we're going to have Claudia Rowe on from the Seattle Times, and she has a book out that talks about the foster care system, where a lot of these young gals come from, the foster care system. And she also talks about what's happening on Aurora.
The dream of escaping the city is helping drive home prices through the roof in one of Western Washington's most scenic towns. We're talking about North Bend. I didn't realize only, 8,500 people live in North Bend, but it has now become a magnet for buyers looking for those mountain views and outdoor recreation and small town living. But the Seattle Times reports demand is now far outpacing supply, and homes now are selling for more than $1 million, and there just aren't enough of them. The median single-family home price hit $1.25 million in April, and city leaders are now saying affordability is becoming a major concern. Teachers and nurses are being priced out, and they're hoping to add more townhomes and condos, but still want to preserve North Bend's small town character.
Okay, y'all.
So is that realistic?
Okay, so what was that last part? What was one of the part besides you said something about the condos?
Yes, so there's talking about the missing middle housing options.
You're right, and so they want to
add more townhomes, condos. Yes.
Okay, keep that right there. So, guys, everyone, I read through this whole thing, and as I'm reading it, I'm just wondering, like, oh, are they really saying the quiet part out loud? Now, listen, you heard Ursula talk about the character of the neighborhood. In this article, in this thing, the mayor actually says we got to preserve our small town character. And to which I was thinking, there's no way she said that out loud. Oh, yeah, she did. Then, 2 breaths later, in that same article, the broker, like you said, admits to the teachers and the nurses and those working there can't afford to live there. And to what you said about now they want to look to get more apartments and condos, they will look to that. Watch this, y'all. There have been no condos there until 2023. No. So sometimes people think this is on accident. This is on purpose. This is the system that I talk about every day. Only they are telling you the quiet part out loud. We want to preserve our small town character, the character of the neighborhood. So let's keep the supply with the apartments, the nurses, and all of them things that they can afford, we want to make sure they can't live here. But hey, if you want to come to North Bend and you're ready to spend $1 million plus, then this place with character is for you.
Yeah. I mean, you can replace North Bend with Enumclaw, it's people are priced out of Seattle, so they're moving. So the people who have money are moving to places like North Bend or Enumclaw, or, name some other small town that everyone wants to preserve their small town character. And is that realistic when you have a housing crisis?
What? Well, this is speaking to everyone, y'all. This is telling you, if you go and look at this article, listen to what Ursula says in the news, you seeing why we have a housing crisis. So I don't want people to think it's a whoopsie. No, it says right here, there were no condos in North Bend until 2023. Y'all think that's by accident? What do you think? You think they was like, oh, you know what? Maybe we should try to come up.
I think it's just, I don't know if no. I mean, you're talking about zoning, whether it's in places like Seattle, which for the longest time, most was single occupancy. And then, now it's pretty much everything goes because we lack so much housing. Mm-hmm. But now that's kind of spreading to other places. And yeah, I mean, they're going to be fighting tooth and nail. I mean, the same thing with whether it's an airport or whether it's like people want to preserve their little farm-like or very rural feeling neighborhoods, right?
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. But by the way, it's just so we're clear, it is not a new thing to want to, in air quotes, preserve the character of your community. The only thing that is different is the slick ways in which they hide it. By the way, there's a lot of people that want to keep the character of their neighborhood the same. Mm-hmm. They just want everybody else to do it and do it in a slick way so they don't make them look a certain type of way. Like, there used to be a time there to say, hey, no black people can live here.
Yeah.
They used to put that in deeds, and it's not legal anymore. So how can we change that?
Well, isn't that in some ways, what do you call when you have a neighborhood? What's the word I'm looking for? The
NIMBY?
Neighborhood, not NIMBY, but where you have to everyone has to have the same kind of color of paint.
HOA.
HOA. Yeah. Well, I mean, isn't that a form of it? Too, it's like you want to preserve certain things in your neighborhood. You got HOA.
Sure, I mean that's the origin and history of HOA. Not to say that all HOAs are the same in that way, but sure. But the crazy part is that we have also seen these things play out, and then people will say, "Gee, we just don't have enough inventory." That's because the damn inventory is $1 million plus.
Yeah. Well, exactly. So what is it that you want? I mean, and it's North Bend, and then Snoqualmie, same thing.
I mean this analogy with real respect. Respect to all of those who have gone to AA, Alcoholics Anonymous. So I don't mean to make this a joke at all, because it's not a joke. But what is the first thing that folks have to do when they go to AA?
Admit you have a problem.
I just want folks to say at some point, admit why this problem exists. But we can't do that because we want to always say that was the past, when the condo situation has not happened until 2023. The past is not the past. It's currently happening right now. Coming up at 9:47. Oh, you guys need to stick around for this. 9:47. There was a local Emmy winner that had a speech that we're going to play for all of you. Up next, is it okay for your kids to rot all summer? We do that next. Gee Ursula.
KIRO Newsradio, winner of 7 regional Edward R. Murrow Awards. Breaking news coverage, best newscast, excellence in writing, investigative reporting, sports reporting, hard news. Capped with a prestigious prize for overall excellence. And we thank you, our audience across the Pacific Northwest. You are the reason we strive to be the Northwest's trusted news source. KIRO Newsradio, 97.3 FM.
Whatever the heat index, stay cool this summer.
Your local Bryant dealer can make sure your system is up to the task. Whether it's maintaining your current system or installing an energy-efficient Bryant Evolution cooling system with perfect Humidity Plus technology, your dealer will give you what you need to help your family beat the heat. Learn more and schedule an appointment with a factory-authorized dealer today at BryantNorthwest.com. That's BryantNorthwest.com. Bryant, whatever it takes.
Hey, how's your money situation? Are you ready for retirement? Well, if you want to know what the pros are doing to make wealth multiply and retire like royalty, then you need to listen to this show, Sound Path Through Retirement, with Ben Koval and Matt Leibarger. Get your money right and tune in every weekend, Saturdays at 10 a.m. and noon on KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
Hey, Jake Skorheim here. If your summer home improvement list has a new roof, siding, or a gutter upgrade, you owe it to your home to give Valentine Roofing a call. And once again, they've been awarded the best in the Pacific Northwest for roofing by the Seattle Times in 2025. And right now, qualified homeowners can take advantage of $0 down and 0% financing with 6 months deferred interest when paid in full within the promotional period. Financing subject to approved credit. Call 206 Roofing today, and remember, when you see the red Valentine van, you know your home is in good hands.
Are you curious about who offers the best deals on top-rated Samsung, LG, and Sony TVs? The answer is surprising. It's not online, and it's not the warehouse clubs. The best deals on top-rated TVs are at Video Only. Don't believe it? Then check out the trade-in deals at Video Only. How about $500 for your old TV? Try doing that online. Before you buy that new TV, drop into Video Only. If you don't, you'll be sorry.
Digging in my yard, trying to lay a pipe. I hit a water line and now I have to pay a big fine. I should have called 811.
If you've been sitting in traffic long enough to finish a podcast and question your life choices, it's time to flip your trip. Ride transit. Find a park and ride, or roll past stress on a bike or scooter. Free yourself from traffic jams at flipyourtrip.org.
Guys, tired all the time? Gaining weight? Low drive? These aren't just signs of aging. They could be low testosterone or other underlying issues. This June, for Men's Health Month, Revive Men's Health in Seattle is offering a free comprehensive wellness panel, a $400 value. It checks your testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. No guessing, just answers. Over 100,000 men have trusted Revive to get real results. More energy, better sleep, improved mood, and confidence that shows. If something feels off, don't wait. Take control and protect your long-term health by knowing your numbers. This offer ends June 30th. Schedule your free comprehensive wellness panel today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Feel better, live stronger. Start now.
Healthcare costs are rising, and a major driver is hospital prices. They've increased more than 250% over the past 25 years. Families and local businesses are feeling it. At Primera Blue Cross, we're working to change that by negotiating with hospitals to secure fair, responsible prices so you can get the care you need at a cost you can afford. That's coverage that counts. Learn more at coveragethatcounts.primera.com.
CM Heating, how can I help?
My lights are flickering and breakers keep tripping.
Sounds like an outdated panel. We'll send an electrician fast and make sure your home is safe.
Thanks.
For panel upgrades, repairs, and all your electrical needs, go to cmheating.com. CMHEA HL754L3.
Oh, those spring showers after a wet winter, they can cause real trouble for groundwater, right? When the soil around your home finally becomes saturated this time of year, water can start making its way into your crawl space, and you don't even know it. It's Mike Salkare, and groundwater in crawl spaces is even more common than you think. It needs to be addressed before it causes structural damage, or even worse, toxic mold in your home. If you're worried that groundwater is making its way into your crawl space, you know what to do. Call Crawl Pros and get that free corner-to-corner inspection, just like they did at my house. They'll come in, they'll climb into that crawl space because Crawl Pros goes where you don't want to. And if they do find water, they'll install groundwater drainage system and a sump pump. They'll reroute all that water outside of your home's footprint where it belongs. So don't take the risk. Do what I did. Call Crawl Pros. Have them come out for a free corner-to-corner inspection of your crawl space. They'll even check your attic at the same time. If you're worried anything's going on in your crawl space or attic, critters, damaged insulation, or water intrusion, call Crawl Pros at crawlpros.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning. I'm Katrina Gashard. The U.S. says it carried out self-defense strikes on Iranian radar and drone strikes this past weekend. Iran says it responded with attacks on a U.S. base in Kuwait. And President Trump says he's adding new demands to a possible peace deal. Here's ABC's news chief White House correspondent Mary Bruce.
Sources tell us that the president has sent over these proposed changes to the latest framework that's on the table, but questions remain about whether they're actually making any concrete progress or what specific changes the president is looking for here. Remember, of course, the president last week said that this deal was already largely negotiated. He headed into that Situation Room meeting on Friday with his national security advisor, saying he was going to make a final determination. 2 hours later, they came out with no announcement of a decision.
Just 40 hours after Seattle city leaders replaced neighbor-installed street planters with official traffic calming blocks, another drive-by shooting hit the same exact area. Neighbors recorded that gunfire on Sunday morning just off Aurora Avenue in North Seattle. Over the weekend, city leaders installed concrete barriers along neighborhood streets to slow traffic. Seattle Police Chief Sean Barnes and people from the mayor's office met with neighbors like Andrew.
They listened to Jake, who's 5-week-old, was almost hit by bullets. They heard from Fiona, a 15-year-old girl on my street, who as a 13-year-old listened to a woman on Aurora screaming for 10 minutes because she had been shot by a rival pimp.
Seattle police have said a lot of these incidents are shootouts between rival pimps. They're holding a neighborhood safety meeting this week. All 11 victims killed in last week's industrial disaster in Longview have now been recovered and identified. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey reports the cleanup continues.
Everyone in Longview seems to know one of the 11 people who lost their lives inside the Nippon Dynawave plant.
And now all these people's lives are destroyed, and you can't bring them back.
Crews are flushing Longview's ditch system after a large vat imploded, spilling hundreds of thousands of gallons of the highly corrosive chemical white liquor. The union for the mill workers killed is now demanding answers after a federal investigation was launched. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
The Seattle Times reports the spill has killed nearly 2,000 fish in the city's ditch system. Meanwhile, 2 people have been arrested in connection to the murder of a Parkland teen. Carly Capetto with the Pierce County Sheriff's Office confirms to the News Tribune the suspects were arrested in Snohomish County this morning. They are a 26-year-old woman and a 25-year-old man. The student, 17-year-old Braylon Daniel Diaz, died on Sunday, May 24th, after a few people pulled up to him in a car and robbed him of his jewelry and shot him. And we've just learned that former Seahawk quarterback Russell Wilson is set to become a CBS sports analyst. According to ESPN, Wilson is finalizing a deal to join the network's pregame show with James Brown, Nate Burleson, and Bill Cowher. Wilson won a Super Bowl as a Seahawk in 2014. And now to your KIRO News Radio real-time traffic. That 8-mile backup continues on southbound 405 from Canyon Park to 85th in Kirkland. 2 express lanes remain blocked. Everett to Bellevue is about an hour and 30 minutes right now. Everett to Seattle, just under an hour. The Valley Freeway is still pretty heavy. Federal Way to Seattle, 50 minutes right now. And the Lake Bridges still look good. This traffic report is brought to you by the Global Credit Union. Global Credit Union, where members enjoy no-fee accounts and early payday with direct deposit. Learn more at globalcu.org. And for your forecast, mostly sunny skies today with highs in the mid-70s. Right now, it's about 59 in downtown Seattle. I'm Katrina Gashard, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Welcome back to the Gee and Ursula Show. We're going to talk about summer vacation and kids and what do you do with them kids. But I saw you reacting to the news about Russell Wilson being an analyst.
That's awesome. That's great news. Yeah, I can't wait to watch Russell Wilson and Bill Cowher, and I need to figure out what I'm going to do because watching Nate Burleson, who is on there as well. Shout out to Nate, O'Day grad, the pride of Seattle. Yes. You guys know how CBS News mornings. This is my guy, it's my dog. I love it. I need to figure this out. You know what I'm saying?
You're not overly excited about this. You know what? I'm curious to see how
it might mess up the character of the show.
Oh.
It might mess up the character of the show.
Oh, no.
You know what I mean?
He's a good guy.
In that it was
I
entertaining.
Want him to do well. Okay. And maybe he'll loosen up. I'm thinking maybe he'll loosen up.
Can I just ask this?
Yeah. Yes. Well, because I was seeing everyone's reaction to it.
Well, Katrina broke news.
Yes, I know. So I wanted to make sure we acknowledged it.
I don't know. I got nothing. I'm really.
Well, you're holding back. You're holding back.
Yeah,
you think it's going to be like watching paint dry? Is that what it is?
Just sitting right next to Bill Cowher. You know what I mean? Look, I'm speechless right now because usually when we get news, we have time to go over it, and then I could say I could say some things off the cuff, and then when it's time for the show,
well, you're holding back here right now,
because
you don't want to.
It's just the right thing to do.
Okay, I gotcha. Okay, well, let's just let that percolate then.
Okay,
but let's talk about summer because do you remember? What would you do with your summer vacations? Would you have all sorts of camps? Was your mom in before you went to military school, was your mom in we got to keep G busy? Or
no, seriously.
If I had to guess.
Now, what do you guys think? Yes.
Yeah, you were scheduled.
Scheduled.
Because my parents, I don't know that they knew half the time what we were doing. So we did not have we couldn't afford camps. We could not have. My parents could not. 5 kids, single income, just bought a house in the wrong time. I just remember a lot of summers where I lived in Oregon. I would spend at what the place called Fern Ridge for all of you. It was just sitting out there, getting sun, swimming, not having any sort of, I want to say rules, but just it wasn't scheduled. And I loved it until I started having to get a job.
Right.
And started working. But the New York Times questions, is it okay for your kids to rot all summer? Because there are a lot of parents who do feel the pressure that they need to fill every single second, whether it's the sports camps, the lessons, the sports, and enrichment programs to, get them ready for college and pack that high school resume. And maybe it's okay to let your kids have no agenda at all. What do you think?
Well, I think that here's another topic that no matter how much time I can't prepare enough for. I was thinking about this morning, and I didn't know you were going to ask me about for me. For me, yes, every minute of my summer was structured. I can still remember the different types of camps I had to go to.
Yeah. And did you resent them?
So then I did, right? Back then I did. So here's the truth. If you can't and you're like, I want my kid to have a good summer because they won't enjoy it, I'm going to tell you, kids would rather rot. That is the perfect summer for them. Think of a summer like there's a marching band and there's a jazz ensemble. Which one do you want to be a part of? A lot of people want to be a part. Well, I take that back.
Yeah, because marching band can be fun too.
Some people want to be a part of the band.
Yeah.
This is how we've always done it. We've always done it this way. We got to do it. 2:00. We got to do it right on time. And then there's the jazz. It's like, hey, man, look, this is the format. This is the framing. But, hey, when you get there, get a little creative. Hey, you want to change some things? Go ahead and change some things. It's some fun. So you can look at the summer like a marching band or the jazz. That's just how it goes. I resented it then because when I would get done with my stuff, Ursula, I had to go to my cousin's house and they'd be having so much fun. And then I got to go because I got to go to bed early because I got to get up early in the morning. So I hated it. But at the same time, I look back on my childhood and I always wondered why coming into school in August and September, why was I so ahead of other kids?
And there it is another pressure, though, on parents because the studies have shown and teachers have said, your kids should be at least reading, have this reading list and try to work through the reading list because so often they come back and it's like they've regressed.
Yeah.
But I think that there needs to be a happy medium. because there are some kids who never get that downtime. And sometimes, and then your kid says, I'm bored, and want you to fill up their every day with activities because they can't figure out what to do on their own. And I think that's where you have to find a good compromise.
Can I want to speak to, there's a fraction of this. Some of you parents, stop worrying about keeping up with the Joneses.
Easier said than done.
Stop meaning just because your friends' kids are doing that, don't feel the pressure that you need to do it. Do what's best for your child.
Yeah.
Don't do this because Jane has her child going to this top-notch tutor, so I need to be able to go and match that. Now, if that's what you want to do, great. But sometimes parents want to do things to keep up with the Joneses.
Oh, yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Man, I just remember, talking about this brings back some memories, too, because I used to be so jealous of, I played tennis. I used to be so jealous of the kids who would have tennis camps. And again, my parents couldn't afford it. So my tennis practice, if I couldn't find a partner to play with, was hitting by myself at the high school, hitting against the backboard with my tennis racket that I only was able to buy with my babysitting money. And I just would be so envious of the kids who could do all the tennis camps.
So you and I think we're in the opposite. So
yes.
You as a child, you didn't get to do it.
No.
I as a child did. But your kids, they got to.
Yes.
My kids didn't.
Yes. It's true. Yeah.
Isn't that so true? Like you parent the opposite in a lot of ways from the way you were raised.
Now you understand why some of the depression that set in on me as a parent, because I knew that my kids weren't getting what I got. And I couldn't provide that for them.
Yeah,
so I know what a good structured summer looks like. I know what your kids could need.
Yes.
But my kids didn't get that because I couldn't afford it.
Yeah.
I just have one sweeping statement. And for all the parents who let their kids, like, they have this nostalgia of, like, let them just do nothing all summer. Kids can't self-entertain in the ways that they used to.
But isn't that a problem? That kids cannot self-entertain? I mean,
yes, it is a problem.
They've got screens now,
It's very much a problem. And so that is the first thing their brains go to.
Well, I'm going to tell y'all right now. You let these little 12, 13-year-old kids not have nothing to do. Oh, don't you worry, parent. They're going to find something to do. And it ain't going to be what you like. Coming up next, go get some more coffee on this one. We need to talk. There was a local Emmy winner. Congratulations to the winner. Interesting what he says next. We'll tell you next. Gee Ursula.
KIRO Newsradio, winner of 7 regional Edward R. Murrow Awards. Breaking news coverage, best newscast, excellence in writing, investigative reporting, sports reporting, hard news. Capped with a prestigious prize for overall excellence. And we thank you, our audience across the Pacific Northwest. You are the reason we strive to be the Northwest's trusted news source. KIRO Newsradio, 97.3 FM.
If you want unlimited talk, text, and data on a super fast network, Big Wireless will sell it to you right now for as little as $70 a month. Or you can buy it from Pure Talk for half of that. I'm talking about unlimited talk, text, and data for just $34.99 a month. But wait, there's more. When you switch to Pure Talk, you'll be switching to an American wireless company that's committed to keeping 100% of its customer service in this country. I appreciate that. In fact, that's why I switched. I also appreciate the way they support our vets and our skilled workforce. Dial pound 250, say micro, and get unlimited talk, text, and unlimited data for just $34.99 a month. That's pound 250 micro. Stop paying twice what you need to pay for the service you want and switch to an American wireless company that actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
When Dennis suggested retirement planning to his wife, Linda, she had the same reaction lots of people do.
Do we really need it?
Then they attended a free seminar with elder law attorney Rajiv Nagayich at LifePoint Law.
He asked me, what do you want? And he truly listened. And at the end of it, it was like, we need to do this.
There are many people on the radio that speak about many things. And when we got here and actually worked with the team that Rajiv has put together, it turns out that it is not just talk, it is action.
And in the worst case?
I said to him, if something happens to Dennis, what would I do exactly? And he said, you pick up the phone and you call Rajiv or you call me. And that right there was like peace of mind.
Register for a free LifePoint Law Retirement Planning Seminar in Tacoma on June 4th, Mukilteo June 6th, Lacey June 9th, or Bellevue June 13th, 6:30 p.m. Space is limited. Sign up at lifepointlaw.com. That's lifepointlaw.com.
Did you know that nearly half the homes in Western Washington are not properly insulated or not insulated at all? That may be the reason why your home is way too hot in the summer and way too cold in the winter. It may also be the reason that your energy bills are sky high. Right now, Insulation Northwest is offering a free inspection of your home's insulation. This is a $199 value and it's absolutely free, no obligation. Just call today and Insulation Northwest will arrange a time that works with your schedule. We'll perform a thorough exam of your home's insulation and give you the advice you need to start saving thousands. Everyone who calls today will also receive a free infrared screening of your home using the latest technology. This will help reveal any hidden flaws in your home's protective energy blanket. What do you have to lose? It only takes about an hour and it's absolutely free. Call Insulation Northwest today, the real insulation company.
InsulationNorthwest.com. Progressive knows you think the grass is always greener. Like maybe you ride a motorcycle. But today, it's raining. So you wish you had an RV, but if you did, you'd have to listen to some guy parked next to it at a campsite plays acoustic guitar. Now, before you start wishing you had a boat, remember, your brother-in-law would invite himself every weekend.
Permission to come aboard, Captain?
But one thing that is greener is the money you could save when you bundle your RV, boat, or motorcycle with your home or auto with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
You could sleep through the night without thinking twice. You could take a seat in the middle of the theater. You could drive without worry of where the next restroom is. You used to say yes, and somewhere along the way, you stopped. Not because of one big moment, because of 100 small ones. A little more urgency, one more trip to the bathroom at 2 a.m., one more mental note about where the restroom is. It happened slowly enough that it just became you. But it's not you. It's enlarged prostate, and there's a treatment called aquablation therapy, the only ultrasound-guided robotic-assisted therapy for enlarged prostate. Find an aquablation therapist near you. Call Aquablation Seattle at 206-666-2466, 206-666-2466. That's 206-666-2466. All surgical treatments carry risks, and results may vary. Side effects may include urinary symptoms, mild pain, ejaculatory dysfunction, or infection. In rare cases, complications to the urethra and rectum may occur. Aquablation therapy may not be right for everyone. Talk to your urologist to learn more. Visit aquablationseattle.com.
It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Good morning. A Seattle Times op-ed columnist, Claudia Rowe, is going to join the show coming up at 10 o'clock. The topic? Well, she wrote about the crisis on Aurora Avenue. Why we can't solve this. Looking forward to speaking to Claudia. Know her very well. Good person. She comes on at 10 o'clock. But right now, we do need to talk. So there was the Emmys this past weekend. Congratulations to all of the winners, including some of my colleagues right here on KIRO Newsradio of winning an Emmy. And it happens every single year where Emmys are a time where a lot of journalists, media, or even content creators now, today, are recognized. Well, there was a winner. There was a lot of winners. And this winner chose to make this a part of their acceptance speech. I want you all to listen. It's 1 minute and 9 seconds. Here you go.
we can do. I have never seen a content creator sit face to face with a woman whose daughter, 18-year-old daughter, her only child died, and she poured her heart and soul to me in hopes of getting justice. Influencers don't do that. Storytellers do. I have never seen a content creator stand on the stoop of another person who lost her 2 children to gun violence and look me in the eye with dead honesty in a moment of realization and say, nobody will ever wish me happy Mother's Day again. Storytellers get that. And I didn't see a single influencer in Wenatchee last year when 3 little girls died at the hands of their own dad. When 8, 9, 10, 11-year-old girls were crying, facing grief for the first time in their lives, influencers don't capture that moment. Storytellers do.
Ursula?
I purposely did not hear him until now. And so I wanted to have the full impact of what he was saying. And as someone who has been in the media for a very, very long time, I understand where he's coming from, but I think that maybe he didn't read the room entirely. Longtime journalists do feel like their position is being taken over by quote unquote content creators. But what makes a content creator? And not all content creators are the same. There are some who are, peddling products, or some who are just going for the show and the glitz and the glam and all that kind of stuff and have millions of followers. And then there are people who are boots on the ground and they're, digging for the stories, et cetera. So I understand his sentiment entirely. I feel like it was, in some ways, also not acknowledging that there are many influencers or content creators in particular who are doing great work, who are doing very important work in real time, who are having those conversations, who are making a difference. And he's not acknowledging and recognizing that the world has changed.
Right. First, before I get into it, Ursula, I want to ask those listening right now, is there someone that you follow that isn't, how can I say this, mainstream media, who isn't technically a journalist? Is there anybody that you follow that does that? And my question would be, would you say that they don't have boots on the ground? Because content creators can sometimes have boots on the ground. Now, where does this come from? This comes from what we go through in society every single day. We are a society that believes in a zero-sum game. We believe if these folks over here start to win, then that means we have to lose. Instead of looking at this as saying, hey, what is the saying? High tides lifts all boats. Now, when I hear this man speak, it is laced with insecurity. Laced. First, you won. Awesome. Fantastic. But you win and you spend that time to kick down on content creators? To say that they can't do what we can't do? First of all, that's not true. That is not true. To say that a content creator can't do what a journalist has done. That's not true. It would be the same thing as saying that a journalist can't do what a content creator can't do. That's not true. So it's a lot of false equivalency that's happening. The next thing that really got me is this. You flexed stories that you've covered to make a point? You used other people's trauma? Them stories ain't yours, my boy. Those stories are the people that have gone through those things. So once you're done with that story, there are families that have to live with that forever. So my problem is great. You won an award, but you use those stories to kick down on other people. That's where I have a problem. You could have accepted your award. You could have talked about all of the things that journalists do. And by the way, let me just say this real quick. Journalists are so important. They are so important. Hey, watch this.
They're so important. And the pool of journalists is shrinking because people are using and getting their information differently. I mean, that is just the reality. And organizations are not willing. We just lost CBS Radio. They're cutting. Right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's a new world. It's like you've got to adjust to this new world. There's room for everybody.
You never have to prove how great you are by making someone else look small.
Oh, God, that's so true, too. Yeah.
Real bosses, real leaders, real people of influence, they don't have to kick down on people. If you kick down on people, you are telling your insecurities. Coming up next here on the Gee and Ursula Show, we have a guest coming up to the show, Claudia Rowe, Seattle Times op-ed columnist. The crisis on Aurora Avenue, why we can't solve this problem. She joins us next. Gee and Ursula.
When was the last time you inspected your crawl space or your attic? What's the last time you went in there just to see what kind of shape they're in? Oh, never? Yeah, same. I don't want to go in there. Most homeowners completely avoid those areas, but it is important to check on them regularly. It's why you call Crawl Pros. They'll come out and go where you don't want to. Hey, it's Mike Salk here. And yes, when Crawl Pros came out to my place, they realized we had a little problem with our insulation. So they've set about fixing it, and they did a great job. But if you've got the same problem, they'll also look to see what kind of energy rebates are available. Right now, local utility companies are incentivizing homeowners to make their home more energy efficient with proper insulation. And some homes qualify for several $1,000s in savings with these utility rebate programs. So don't just assume your crawl space and attic are in great condition. Do what I did. Call Crawl Pros today and schedule a free corner-to-corner inspection and find out if you've got water intrusion, mold, rodent issues, or even damaged insulation. Schedule your crawl space and attic inspection at crawlpros.com.
Whatever the heat index, stay cool this summer. Your local Bryant dealer can make sure your system is up to the task. Whether it's maintaining your current system or installing an energy-efficient Bryant Evolution cooling system with perfect Humidity Plus technology, your dealer will give you what you need to help your family beat the heat. Learn more and schedule an appointment with a factory-authorized dealer today at BryantNorthwest.com. That's BryantNorthwest.com. Bryant, whatever it takes.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-8157. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-8157. That's 800-575-8157. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Under these arches, opposing teams are put to the test. Can they hear themselves over the boom of the 12s? Can they withstand the Seattle elements? Can they compete against us? Touchdown! Seahawks! This city lives for Sunday. Get your tickets for Seahawks game days at Lumen Field and experience what this city lives for. Visit Seahawks.com today.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the third time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu, an Elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Why'd I go to the doctor? Working on the farm, my heart kept skipping a beat. I didn't think much of it.
But my daughters made me get checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Your VA loan and reverse mortgage experts for 34 years. Best Mortgage is proud to be the longest-running mortgage company on KIRO Radio. Get a no-pressure consultation from a real person, never an AI bot. Web search Best Mortgage for honest advice you can trust.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. Iranian media reporting it's no longer sending messages to negotiate with the U.S., saying Israel has violated the ceasefire agreement by continuing strikes in Lebanon. Iranian officials also warning it may block the Strait of Hormuz. Retired Army General and former NATO Supreme Allied Commander General Wesley Clark on Iran's strategy.
Iran believes that it has the leverage over the Strait of Hormuz. So the actions of the United States in there to pry open the strait are absolutely critical to getting the right kind of peace agreement eventually.
President Trump has stated he wants to ensure Iran won't have a nuclear weapon. The outbreak of Ebola in Central Africa continuing to rise, with suspected cases topping 1,000. World health officials say they are tracing more suspected cases, but say it's contained to the Democratic Republic of Congo and Uganda. Severe storms on the march across parts of the Mid-South and Plains today. It follows volatile storms Sunday, packed with wind, hail, and reported tornadoes. This is ABC News. Today is June 1st, and that means the start of the 2026 hurricane season.
The yardstick for measuring hurricanes is the Saffir-Simpson scale, which ranks storms based on their top sustained winds. Category 1 starts at 74 miles per hour, Category 5 at 157. But a pair of climate scientists is pushing for the creation of a Category 6 as anything above 192 miles per hour, because they say storms are getting more intense. At this point, the National Hurricane Center has shown no inclination to change the scale.
ABC's Jim Ryan. NOAA says it's expecting a below-average hurricane season this year in the Atlantic. According to one study, remote work may be one reason why unemployment rates among college student graduates are a little higher. The Federal Reserve Bank of New York says that businesses may be wary of hiring workers without experience. And in Laos, the remaining 2 missing miners in a remote cave have been located. Rescue crews now finding a way to get them out. Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
An Auburn police officer has been terminated. Details next, but first, let's get a check on the roads with KIRO Newsradio traffic. Everett to Bellevue is making some progress. It's about an hour and 20 minutes. Everett to Seattle, about 50 minutes. The Valley Freeway is still heavy. Lake bridges are clear. Federal Way to Seattle, about 50 minutes. The last 2 miles will be a struggle, though. This traffic report is brought to you by KIRO News Radio.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning. I'm Katrina Gashard. An Auburn police officer arrested in an online child exploitation investigation has been fired. The 42-year-old posted $100,000 bail last month and was released. Auburn police say the decision was based off an off-duty conduct that was investigated through the department's internal investigation process. Meanwhile, 2 people have been arrested in connection with the murder of 17-year-old Braylon Diaz in Parkland. The Pierce County Sheriff's Office tells the News Tribune a 26-year-old woman and a 25-year-old man were taken into custody this morning in Snohomish County. Deputies say the pair pulled up in a car, robbed Diaz of his jewelry, and shot him. Deputies are still searching for 2 more suspects. And just 48 hours after Seattle city leaders replaced neighbor-installed planters to completely block their streets from drive-by shootouts with traffic calming blocks, KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey reports there was another shooting.
Early Sunday morning, gunfire just off Aurora Avenue in North Seattle. And just like the 95 other shootings the last 2 years, Andrew had the same reaction.
We have a routine when we hear shots. We each grab a kid as fast as possible and as low as possible and go to the back room.
Neighbors question whether the concrete barriers the city has now installed in place of their homemade metal barricades will do much to reduce the violence. Unlike the original roadblocks, the new barriers only slow traffic. Linked to pimps and sex buyers, they don't stop it entirely. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
City leaders are holding a neighborhood safety meeting this week. All 11 victims from the Longview Mill implosion have now been recovered and identified. KIRO 7 TV's Jake Chapman reports.
The pain still lingers in Longview.
And now
all these people's lives are destroyed, and you can't bring them back.
11 lives lost after a chemical vat at the DuPont Dynawave packaging plant imploded.
Right now, our focus remains on supporting the families, supporting our members, and supporting everyone affected by this tragedy in every way possible.
The implosion also spilled hundreds of thousands of gallons of white liquor, which got into the diking and ditching system for the city through stormwater outfalls.
The Longview Fire Department has given an update on the survivors of the implosion. 4 have been treated and released, including a firefighter, and 3 remain in the hospital. A major new pickleball hub opened this weekend in Federal Way. The Pickler transformed the former LA Fitness building on Pacific Highway South into 14 premium indoor courts. Sankit Medha is the owner of Pickler Federal Way, and he tells KIRO 7 TV.
I really feel that, pickleball is such a special sport. It brings community together. It brings friends together. And if you get strangers together, they become friends.
It's now the largest pickleball facility on the West Coast. And for your KIRO News Radio weather, right now, we've got sunny skies, more sunshine ahead today with highs in the mid-70s. Right now, it's about 60 in downtown Seattle. I'm Katrina Gashard, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Happy Monday to you. Thank you for listening to the Gee and Ursula Show. Good morning to you, Ursula.
Good morning. Last hour we were talking about allowing kids to rot over the summer and whether kids today are overscheduled. Yeah. Coming up at 10:30. Now we're going to talk about, are parents expected to do too much for their kids these days? And we're going to talk about how there's this new survey that shows a great number of women, moms, still experience mom guilt. And one of the biggest things is that apparently we worry that we're not doing enough for our kids. Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line is open for you, 888-973-5476, 888-973-KIRO.
What's new at 10?
So all I have to say is one word, and you know exactly what I'm talking about, G. Aurora. For weeks, we've been talking about the violence erupting along Aurora Avenue in North Seattle. Shootings, pimp wars, neighbors afraid to leave their homes, businesses wondering when things are going to finally change. But amidst all the discussion about public safety, there is another reality that often gets overlooked. Although I will say on our show, G, we do bring it up. Many of the women being bought, sold, recruited, and manipulated are not adults. They're actually teenagers. And how many girls and young women will have to suffer exploitation and extreme trauma before city leadership addresses the problem? That is the question that Seattle Times op-ed board member Claudia Rowe writes about in her latest column. And I'm happy to say that she joins us live now in studio. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thanks so much for having me. I'm glad to be here.
The timing of your editorial was really spot on. And I want you to share with our listeners, how big is the child trafficking problem in this region?
So Seattle broadly is part of a track, is well known as part of a circuit for minor or juvenile trafficking. Aurora is said to be, it's anecdotal, but it is said to be the second busiest track for juvenile exploitation in the country. So it is no small thing.
Second to?
Figueroa Street in Los Angeles.
Wow.
Claudia, I've known you for some time, and one of the things I know about you very well, you are very well respected in a lot of communities here locally because you go beyond the story, and I really respect that about you. So what I want to do is like you just said, right now it has been said to where Aurora is number 2 in the country when it comes to the sex trafficking and the young girls that are out there. My question right to you is, what are we not doing? What are the top legislature, politicians, what are we not doing? Because we keep talking about what's happening with the shooting and the pimp wars. What is not happening to where this is not being addressed?
2 things in the sort of first level, short term, we are not prioritizing these kids. Everybody knows this is happening. This is not a secret. Police know, city officials know, county officials know. Everybody knows. There have been a lot of reports, a lot of research on this. This is a known thing. And the state legislature about 5 years ago said, okay, we need to have 2 receiving centers on either side of the state, and they put money aside for it, for kids to go. There needs to be a safe place. If we're not going to charge kids anymore with juvenile prostitution, which ended 2 years ago, 2024, if we're not going to do that, we can't just leave them out there. This is really brutal. This is not some like little game. There's kids being killed, kids being brutalized. It's not only psychological manipulation. There is like real physical harm happening, including murder. So we are not prioritizing them. We know they're out there in large numbers. Our state passed a law saying there have to be 2 receiving centers. The one on the east side of the state closed in like 6 months. There's never been one state-run, state-funded here on the west side, even though the vast majority of kids are coming from the west side. So that's the first thing we're not doing. We're not prioritizing them.
So how many centers are there right now in the state?
State, sort of secure state-funded, 0.
Okay.
The other thing is going back farther. So there are underlying conditions. You know, it doesn't just happen magically, right? The underlying conditions that bring kids into this world are primarily poverty and some other kind of need, which is more of like an emotional, psychological sense of security, sense of being valued in your home. You know, some of this stuff is old. A lot of these kids are foster kids. They have very, very early trauma. They've never felt wanted, needed, valued. So some guy says, hey, you know, let me hook you up and you're so special and look at all you can do and look at all you can earn. It's hard, I think, for adults to understand just how vulnerable certain young people are to that kind of message, but they are.
And you mentioned there were supposed to be 2 centers, one on each side of the state. And just for people to understand, what would these centers, what is the role of these centers?
Right. So I will say here that the term receiving center, reception center, healing center, a lot of people have feelings about the name. So I'm just putting it out there. I'm just going to call it a reception center for here, which is a place where a kid could get away from the street, decompress, settle down, hopefully detox. A lot of these kids have become addicted to fentanyl or meth while working in order to do the work. So detox, medical care, and then counseling services. This is shockingly the lure of this sort of fast money and the fleeting sense of value is really compelling to a lot of kids. It is difficult to escape.
Claudia, I want to go back to this discussion of these young girls. You talked about them coming from the foster care system and things. And as someone who has been researching this, when we talk about Aurora and rescuing and the gunfire and let's rescue these women that are out there on the streets, but then we hear the silence when these young girls are 8, 9, 10 years old, coming from poverty. Is it impossible that there's not a lot of resources for when they're 8, 9, 10 years old, but when they're out there on Aurora, now everyone wants to speak loud, like, hey, we need to help these young girls.
Well, I wish more people would speak louder about it because, you know, at the sort of official levels, it's not happening. I mean, like, neighbors are sending me pictures all the time. My neighbors are speaking loud, but people with power to actually do something, I'm not hearing it.
Why do you think right now, because on our show, we have been talking about it, I would say the last 2 weeks, the topic about Aurora has been really talked about
daily.
A lot.
And juvenile on Aurora? Is that what your guests are talking about?
I mean, well, not so specifically, but I've had police officers who've worked that beat who have told me 14 years old.
Oh, for sure. Police are incredibly concerned.
Yes,
they
are.
For sure know. And I think they feel disempowered.
Yes, they do. And why is that? Because I want to talk about specifically North Seattle on Aurora. It used to be we would hear about SeaTac and the strip on SeaTac, but Aurora in particular and these young girls, which is, I'm going to guess that social media is playing a role as well.
Social media certainly plays a role because, it's an obvious thing, but I hadn't really thought about it until I heard from prosecutors and police investigators looking at this. So a lot of kids will sell pictures of themselves on really mainstream social media. These are not sex sites like Instagram, Snapchat, like mainstream social media. And then they are sort of easy targets or easy prey for a recruiter who's like, hey, baby, you're gorgeous. Think how much more you could make getting out there and doing the work. And I know that it is hard for adults often to understand how this could be a compelling message, but it is. In terms of disempowered, you asked. So in 2024, the state legislature said, okay, no more criminal prostitution for minors. You can no longer get a prostitution charge if you are a minor. There's no such thing in our state anymore. This was an effort to recognize that these kids are victims. They are not criminals. And the legislature rightly said, okay, if we can't charge them and bring them to juvie where they could at least be safe from their pimps, if we can't do that, we have to have some place to bring them, some place where there can be help, services, and a sense of security. So that's why these two receiving centers are written into the law. But it never happened.
Yeah, and one of them shut down, you said.
One of them was closed, I believe, by the Department of Health, sort of for, like, adjacent reasons. Not because I don't think it was because of the services they were providing.
Wow. You're listening to the voice of Claudia Rowe, Seattle Times op-ed columnist, who just wrote about the crisis on Aurora Avenue and why can't we solve this. Claudia, your book, Wards of the State, is about foster care.
Yeah.
And so many of these girls, like you talked about, are from foster care. And I want to know that when the state becomes the parent of a lot of these kids, where is the failure? Tell us where that failure happens. Because I think when I hear state being in charge of the children, then they're safe. What happens?
So Wards of the State is not about all of foster care. It's a very specific look at why are the numbers so high of foster kids who have some kind of brush with the criminal justice system by the time they are 26, either while they're still being so-called parented by the state or shortly after they age out. That's what the book is about. Why are those numbers off the chart? It's more than half of kids who grow up in foster care will have been locked up. It's like 59% will have been locked up by the time they are in their mid-20s. Yeah. That number blew my mind. So I went deep into look at how this happens. One way it happens is the incredible prevalence of running away. A lot of foster kids run from their placements, not because the placements are necessarily abusive, because they're actually running toward. They are looking for love, their parents, other kids on the street who get them. Yes, a sense of belonging, a sense of belonging. Yeah. Okay, so it's a major driver. And it used to be that police would pick up those kids and bring them to juvie. And that was a major driver of that huge number of kids who had some kind of brush with lockup while they were in foster care. But your point, I think, is what is happening in foster care that kids are feeling such a need for belonging? I think that's really your question.
Yes.
This is not about any particular person or any sort of villainous foster parent or bad social worker. That is not what is going on here. Okay. What is going on is that the structure of foster care, which is moving around, moving from home to home to home until you are either reunited with your original biological family, adopted into a new family, or you age out. This is the structure of foster care. It has built-in constant movement, and that, we now know from brain science, undercuts kids' ability to form any kind of attachment or connection to any trustworthy adult. And this is where the huge hole in the heart is. There is no connection to anyone. And that leaves a kid sort of open to anything to fill that hole.
So going back to your question, why can't we solve this? Given your research and in particular looking at the very young victims who are being sex trafficked, and let's just talk about Aurora because that is the hot spot right now. What needs to happen, in your opinion, to actually make a dent in this and not just move it to another location?
What needs to happen is the state or King County need to open up a place for kids to go and get some help. A real place with real services. And such a place does exist. I understand people are leery about, criminalizing these kids, but there is space at the King County Juvenile Detention and Court Complex where kids could go, could be safe, could get services without criminal charges. Mm-hmm. Technically, they would be allowed to leave because they would not be locked up. They would not be there on criminal charges, but it would be a secure place, perhaps kind of unattractive to a pimp who was trying to, hunt down his product. Right? So we have this here. It is ready. It could open really fast.
Yes.
Why don't we do this?
Just speaking about when they get trapped in and into this circle, why is it so difficult for victims to leave that life and how they're being used?
Right. That is really tricky. So there are a couple things. Number one, many of them are addicted, right? So, and you're increasingly isolated from the life you knew before. So you're sort of psychologically and then pharmaceutically kind of tied into a guy who's going to keep feeding your habit, right? You don't want to be sick from withdrawal. You have shame. You're cut off from your old family and friends. What are you going to do? Also, I got to say, the physical violence, the threat of violence, the stuff I read in court documents about what some guys are doing to these kids is, I read a lot of stuff.
It's shocking for you.
It blew me away.
Oh.
You're listening to the voice of Claudia Rowe from the Seattle Times op-ed columnist who wrote Crisis on Aurora Avenue and Why Can't We Solve This? There's the babies in the river parable, and it feels like that's what's happening right here. And what I mean by that is the baby in the river parable is where someone is upstream and allowing the babies to keep getting inside of the water. And meanwhile, way downstream, there are people saying, oh my goodness, look at all these babies, and we got to save them. When it's just go address the babies getting in the water in the first place. You kept asking, why won't this be open? And I want to go deeper into that. In your time of researching this, and Claudia, I know the work that you've done behind the scenes on a lot of things. Does it feel like the reasons why they don't get open is because a lot of people that are in charge of the pen or have the loudest voice want to keep doing the same thing over and over and over again and not willing to adapt any type of change or anything?
There's certainly institutional inertia, which is what you're talking about. Mm-hmm. Just sort of
It's how we used to do it.
Right. There is certainly that. There is also, hey, I'm sorry, kids don't have any money and kids don't vote. And that's it. They don't have any leverage for power. They can't donate to political campaigns. They don't vote. They're not a constituency. And I'll tell you, foster kids are really not a constituency. Who's going to stand up for them?
You think it would be different if they had a vote?
If kids had a vote, I think it might be different, yeah.
But I thought that one of the social contracts that we as adults have, if there's one thing that we're tasked with doing, is helping and making sure to protect children.
Well, sure, but priorities can be, pushed off. Oh, we have a huge budget problem. Yes, we do. At the city, county, and state level. Yes, we do. And it is easy for that to be, oh, man, we have these other fires to put out first. Okay, but you got dead kids out there. When is that a fire?
we got about 30 seconds. And before you go, Claudia, I think that here pretty soon the World Cup's going to happen. And when the World Cup happens, I think usually when there's big sporting events, they even talked about it in New York, the Knicks have gone to the NBA Finals. Crime and things have died down when sports happen. So I believe that things will die down. They'll chill out a little bit on Aurora. And so we won't be talking about what's going on Aurora. What do you think, and what do you want lawmakers and people listening right now to keep this story in the headlines? When things die down because there's no pimps, maybe might stop shooting in June. What can we do to keep this story going on this topic?
I don't know. I don't think that's going to happen. And what I hear always is that huge sporting events like the Super Bowl and the World Cup actually amp up trafficking business. Yeah. And I did hear from law enforcement while working on this that some young women out there have already said that they are booking dates with international customers who are coming to Seattle.
Okay, let me rephrase that. If there's no shootings, let's just say hypothetically, if there's no shootings, then we aren't going to be talking about what's happening on Aurora. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
How can we continue to keep this story going is what I'm saying, because it feels like the only time we talk about what's happening on Aurora is when there are shootings.
Well, it was not shootings that prompted me to write this column. It was a dead kid, this girl, Ajane Brooks, who was murdered by a pimp a year ago. Mm-hmm. So that's what prompted me to write this, and that's going to be continuing. How are we going to put it in front of people's minds? I don't know. I'll write another column.
Exactly.
Well, keep staying on it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Really appreciate your time.
Yeah, appreciate you coming in.
Coming up next here on the show, coming up at 10:47 will be scenarios. But up next, are parents expected to do too much for their kids today? We do that next. Gee and Ursula.
Healthcare costs are rising, and a major driver is hospital prices. They've increased more than 250% over the past 25 years. Families and local businesses are feeling it. At Primera Blue Cross, we're working to change that by negotiating with hospitals to secure fair, responsible prices so you can get the care you need at a cost you can afford. That's coverage that counts. Learn more at coveragethatcounts.primera.com.
Hey, it's G. Scott. Let's talk real here for a second, because summer is supposed to be about sunshine and kids having fun. But when the kids are home all day, that grocery bill is diabolical. That's why I want you to know about Sunbucks and why our friends at Safeway are helping get the word out. If your families qualify, you could receive $120 per child to spend on groceries this summer, food in your cart, and a little less pressure on your budget. And there's no catch. There's no judgment. The program is simply about making sure that kids have enough to eat when school is out. Here's the important part. Many families are enrolled automatically, and a card may already be headed to your mailbox, but some families do need to apply depending on income and where you live. So take a couple of minutes and check. Visit freesummermeals.org. That's freesummermeals.org. Safeway, looking out for families this summer.
It started as a puddle.
Where?
In the shower.
Uh-oh.
Then the kitchen sink.
Started backing up?
Yeah.
I know where this is going.
Clogged up.
Right. No problem.
Beg your pardon?
There's no clog we can't clear.
You're Dan.
From Apollo Plumbing.
This is going to get pricey.
How about $83?
To clear my drain?
Apollo Plumbing clears main drains every day.
For $83?
$83 or it's free.
What's the catch?
No catch. We'll even do a camera inspection.
Why's that?
It's the best way to find the cause of your clog.
And it's included?
No extra charge. Truth is, we hate clogs.
I don't love them.
Seen them all.
Ew.
I promise, there's no clog Apollo can't clear.
Guaranteed.
83 or free.
Goodbye, slow drains.
All it takes is an accessible clean out.
And Apollo gets my drains draining again.
You call, we come, it's fixed.
My heroes.
Just doing our job.
Thank you, Apollo Plumbing.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
What would you do if the person you love needed round-the-clock care and you had no plan to pay for it?
I was very worried about running out of money.
When Mike's wife was diagnosed with dementia, he turned to LifePoint Law and Elder Law attorney Rajiv Nagayich.
And then he said, you're going to be okay, but we have to get through these steps. Then I felt a whole lot better going into it. It was still a very difficult process, but in the end, I knew that there was someone there that if I needed help, understood what I'm going through.
LifePoint Law helped Mike protect his wife, his finances, and his future.
They laid it out really well up front. They give you a very in-depth plan. There are so many things that you don't know. I could never have done it on my own.
Register for a free LifePoint Law retirement planning seminar in Tacoma on June 4th, Mukilteo on June 6th, Lacey on June 9th, or Bellevue on June 13th. 6:30 p.m. Space is limited. Sign up at lifepointlaw.com. That's lifepointlaw.com.
Your old furnace ain't nice, and your toes are like ice. Dayandnight.net. This month, Day and Night gives you a free furnace with the installation of an AC or heat pump.
If you're not sure your furnace will make it through another winter, call us to install a proper, long-lasting, efficient heating system backed by our lifetime workmanship guarantee, so you won't be left out in the cold.
Install an AC or heat pump and get a free furnace from Day and Night Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric. Dayandnight.net.
Guys, tired all the time? Gaining weight? Low drive? These aren't just signs of aging. They could be low testosterone or other underlying issues. This June, for Men's Health Month, Revive Men's Health in Seattle is offering a free comprehensive wellness panel, a $400 value. It checks your testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. No guessing, just answers. Over 100,000 men have trusted Revive to get real results. More energy, better sleep, improved mood, and confidence that shows. If something feels off, don't wait. Take control and protect your long-term health by knowing your numbers. This offer ends June 30th. Schedule your free comprehensive wellness panel today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Feel better, live stronger. Start now.
Why pay retail? Save big with the largest carpet and hardwood flooring selection at Carpet Liquidators. 7 locations. We've got you covered at Carpet Liquidators.
Why pay retail? Carpet Liquidators.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning. I'm Katrina Gashard. Doctors in Central Africa say they can't keep up with the flood of patients as health officials in Brazil await test results on 2 people who recently returned from the region. Here's ABC's Matt Rivers.
Americans traveling from the DRC, South Sudan, and Uganda can only enter the U.S. through 4 airports. Medical student Michael Ruprecht was working in Uganda when the outbreak began.
I obviously was really terrified and scared when I heard about it.
Michael's flight home to Michigan was rerouted to Dulles International Airport in Virginia for a CDC and DHS mandated screening.
Just 40 hours after Seattle city leaders replaced neighbor-installed street planters with official traffic calming blocks, another drive-by shooting hit the same area. Neighbors recorded that gunfire Sunday morning just off Aurora Avenue in North Seattle. Over the weekend, city leaders installed concrete barriers along neighborhood streets to slow traffic. Seattle Police Chief Sean Barnes and people from the mayor's office met with neighbors like Andrew.
They listened to Jake, who's 5-week-old, was almost hit by bullets. They heard from Fiona, a 15-year-old girl on my street, who as a 13-year-old listened to a woman on Aurora screaming for 10 minutes because she had been shot by a rival pimp.
Seattle police have said that they're holding a neighborhood safety meeting on Wednesday. All 11 victims killed in last week's industrial disaster in Longview have now been recovered and identified. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey reports the cleanup continues.
Everyone in Longview seems to know one of the 11 people who lost their lives inside the Nippon Dynawave plant.
And now all these people's lives are destroyed, and you can't bring them back.
Crews are flushing Longview's ditch system after a large vat imploded, spilling hundreds of thousands of gallons of the highly corrosive chemical white liquor. The union for the mill workers killed is now demanding answers after a federal investigation was launched. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
The Seattle Times reports the spill has killed nearly 2,000 fish in the city's ditch system. 10-time Pro Bowl quarterback Russell Wilson is stepping off the field and into the studio. ESPN reports Wilson is finalizing announcing a deal to become a CBS sports analyst, joining the network's NFL pregame show. Wilson spent 10 seasons in Seattle and won a Super Bowl before stints with Denver, Pittsburgh, and now the New York Giants. Brandi Carlile lit up the gorge this weekend.
I climbed across the mountains.
The Washington native headline night 2 of her Echoes Through the Canyon concerts with a powerhouse set that sold out the crowd. It was her birthday as well. She turns 45 today. And for your KIRO News Radio real-time traffic, Everett to Bellevue is making some progress. It's about an hour and 20 minutes right now. Everett to Seattle, 50 minutes. The Valley Freeway is getting a little better. Lake bridges are clear. Federal Way to Seattle, 50 minutes. And this traffic report is brought to you by the KIRO News Radio Desk. For your weather, sunshine is on the way. Highs will be in the mid-70s. Right now, it's 60 in downtown Seattle. I'm Katrina Gashard, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Welcome back to the Gee and Ursula Show. Thank you again to Claudia Rowe from the Seattle Times. So she is a fantastic resource and very knowledgeable on the topics that we discussed today. And definitely, you said you're going to read her book next.
Yeah. She has a book. If you guys are out there and you guys are curious and want to know, it's called Wards of the State, The Long Shadow of American Foster Care. And this will be my next book that I will be reading. And yes, Claudia is. Here's the thing about Claudia. Claudia, when she goes deep into these topics, she goes really deep.
Yeah.
And she comes up with real research, and she's in there talking to people with lived experience.
Yes.
But what ends up happening, unfortunately, in this climate right now is a lot of times elected officials, sometimes they don't that's uncomfortable work for some of them. Either A, they have no clue about it, and B, sometimes they don't want to have a clue about it. And to what Claudia said, which was so important, kids don't have a vote.
Right.
So kids don't donate to campaigns. So why would an elected official have to make sure that resources are available to them? She tells a story about how money was earmarked for 2 locations.
Yes, and one shut down quickly for other reasons, she said, and then the other one never opened, which is ridiculous. I mean, that's just infuriating, first of all. Secondly, what she was saying about these kids, and again, they're kids, and she was saying that perhaps, and it's not a popular idea, but just to get them out of that cycle of violence, to get them into a safe spot, not to face criminal charges, but someplace outside of the system of violence that they're seeing on the streets, get them, for example, to juvie, which that was shut down too. So there really are very few options for the kids. And she talked about how hard it is for them to get out because often they're addicted as well.
Yep.
It was a very eye-opening conversation. So now we're going to switch to kids again, but we're going to talk about, are we as parents expected to do much for our kids today? And if you were listening about an hour ago, we were talking about how parents have plans. Some parents have a lot of plans. They'd like to schedule their kids for activities throughout the summer, all sorts of camps. You said your parents were that way and you were that scheduled child. I had the opposite experience. But we saw a recent survey that found 91% of moms experience mom guilt, and more than 70% worry that they're not doing enough for their children. And a U.S. Surgeon General's report from 2024 called Parents Under Pressure finds that stress and expectations are crushing modern parents. If you're listening right now and this sounds like you, did you feel guilt when raising your kids, or if you're in the midst of it right now, text us 888-973-5476. Compared to the 80s and 90s, mothers have increased their primary child care time by 40%, while their paid work hours rose by nearly 30%. As for fathers, they have increased their primary child care time by an astounding 154%. But the stress level that they're reporting, nearly half of parents report that most days their stress is completely overwhelming, and 40% or so admit that on most days they're so stressed they feel that they cannot even properly function.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot that goes into it that brings on the stress of not doing enough. Like you talked about, as a kid, my parents were able to do a lot for me, which in turn turned into very negative feelings that I would have because I wasn't able to do that for my kids. And I think that, well, first, right now in this country, 4 out of 10 people can't cover $1,000 emergency right now. So you have that. A lot of parents, there's a great deal of parents right now are having a thing called time poverty. And time poverty happens to where maybe you're working 2-3 jobs or 2 jobs, whatever the case might be. You're always having to worry about work just because you're trying to pay the bills. And so you don't get that. You can't do your homework with your children. You can't on the weekends take them any sports. Matter of fact, you can't even afford any sports. So, I think that stress is real. That stress happens. And then when you do, and by the way, let me go ahead and point to myself. When you do have interactions with your children, it's usually, what'd you do? Why is that like that? Why didn't you clean your room? Why didn't you? It's always instructional. You're talking to your kids in a transactional basis. And so, deep down, when you're not yelling about things, you are feeling the pain of not doing what you could do as a parent. And I also believe, I think that is universal. I think that if you are struggling financially, or even if you're doing well financially, I still think that is a pressure that parents have about not doing enough for their children.
I felt tremendous guilt being a working mom, especially during the years that I was a news director and I was spending way more time here in the newsroom.
Yeah.
Sometimes, like I said, 12 hours a day. And if it were not for the help that I got from in-laws, my husband stepping up, I think my kids' future would be very different. I mean, and the amount of time that I had with them, it was really hyper-focused on them, not even so much my husband. So, I mean, we talked about even having family bed, all of it. I mean, it was like scraping and scrapping and trying to figure out where I could have that time. And there was a tremendous amount of guilt. I was so jealous of moms or parents who were where there was one full-time parent at home.
Yeah. And that, I'm glad you said that about you having the help, right, from your in-laws and from your husband, because this is one of the reasons why I cringe sometimes when I hear people say, where are the parents? Because not everybody has the help. Not everybody has that luxury to do that. Sometimes the parents are at work and they don't have extended family to help them. And so unfortunately, when kids don't have any supervision, they might get into something negative.
I guess overall, I just think parents need to give themselves more grace. Because, I mean, you're more often than not, you're doing the best that you can.
Yep.
And your kids know that. And they will understand if you are truly doing the best that you can. And I think that so often we're so hard on ourselves as parents, too.
Yeah.
Feeling that guilt.
Yeah. Agree. Coming up next here on the Gee Ursula Show, it's time for scenarios. Gee Ursula.
KIRO Newsradio, winner of 7 regional Edward R. Murrow Awards. Breaking news coverage, best newscast, excellence in writing, investigative reporting, sports reporting, hard news. Capped with a prestigious prize for overall excellence. And we thank you, our audience across the Pacific Northwest. You are the reason we strive to be the Northwest's trusted news source. KIRO Newsradio, 97.3 FM.
Rick was experiencing some pain in his knee.
Once I retired and really just golfed constantly, I think it kind of exacerbated.
It was getting to be too much for him.
It got to the point where I just almost couldn't sleep. I wanted to try anything to avoid surgeries.
So instead, he decided to see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine for stem cell therapy.
I talked to him and he said, well, Rick, it's a new knee or we do the stem cell.
Since the procedure, Rick is back doing what he loves to do.
Here I am, golfing and enjoying it.
And now it's not just his knee. Rick has had stem cell treatment for both of his shoulders, his hip, and...
He did my thumbs.
So whether it's a hip like I had or a shoulder, knee, and thumb like Rick, before choosing surgery, see Dr. Mark Wagner first. He's the most experienced in the Northwest with over 20,000 stem cell procedures. Go to drmarkwagnermd.com.
Support comes from Amazon Business. Unlock smart business buying with fast, free delivery on millions of items and practical AI innovations that automate repetitive tasks so you can make smarter decisions faster. Learn more at amazonbusiness.com.
Wendy's new Biggie Deals lets you choose whatever you're in the mood for. It's like a music mixing board of deals and you're the producer. Go with some chill folk music with a JBC in the $4 Biggie Bite snack. Try the drum and bass of deals with a double stack in the $6 Biggie Bag. Or go full-on sandwich symphony with an $8 Biggie Bundle, the grand finale of snacking. And the best part? They all come with napkins. $4, $6, and $8 Biggie Deals how you want them at Wendy's.
Price and participation may vary. Single items at regular price. Prices may be higher in Alaska, California, and Hawaii.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Hey, Jake Skorheim here. Summer means I have a laundry list of exterior home improvements to tackle and no time to do it. Fortunately, the team in the red van has me covered. And of course, I'm talking about Valentine Roofing, the pros that keep me off extension ladders and precarious positions. If your summer home improvement list has a new roof, siding, or a gutter upgrade, you owe it to your home to give Valentine Roofing a call. Once again, they've been awarded the 2025 Best in the Pacific Northwest Awards for Roofing by the Seattle Times. And it really comes down to two things: the best product backed by a lifetime warranty and exceptional customer service. They call that the Valentine Experience. It's seamless communication, meticulous cleanup, and extra mile service. And right now, qualified homeowners can take advantage of $0 down, 0% financing with 6 months deferred interest when paid in full within the promotional period. Financing subject to approved credit. Call 206 Roofing to schedule your free estimate today. That's 206 Roofing. And remember, when you see the red Valentine van, you know your home is in good hands.
Spike O'Neill here. If your loved one's caregiver is planning a vacation or just needs a break, why not consider Aegis Living Respite Care? A short-term stay that provides 24/7 expert care, Aegis Living amenities, and peace of mind for you and your family. Go to aegisliving.com/spike to schedule a visit today.
This is a special notice to all U.S. taxpayers with back taxes owed to the IRS. If you owe $10,000 or more in back taxes, you may now be eligible for relief through current IRS initiatives for struggling taxpayers. In some cases, taxpayers may qualify to reduce as much as 99% of what they owe. You may already be experiencing wage garnishment, liens, levies, or audits and be unaware of this important information. Call Guardian Tax now to see what relief you may be eligible for at 800-404-7986. By taking action today, you may be able to stop all collections and resolve your tax problem before your tax problem gets worse. Tax experts are standing by to review your case and fight to slash your debt dramatically. Don't let your tax problem get worse and miss this time-sensitive opportunity. Check your eligibility with Guardian Tax now. Call 800-404-7986. 800-404-7986. That's 800-404-7986.
Nothing worse than clutter. With Closets by Design, everything will finally have its place. 40% off plus an additional 15% off and 18 months 0% financing on approved credit if paid in full. Closet.byDesign.com or call 1-800-BY-DESIGN.
It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Hey, coming up at 11 o'clock, we're going to be bringing it up north area, actually in your neighborhood, Ursula. In your neighborhood where they had this idea that they want to have walkable and they want to do a test and everything like that to kind of see what it's like for people to block off so no cars could be there.
Yeah, what do you think about those? I mean, we've talked about it with Pike Place Market. Edmonds kind of did a thing. Yeah. Now we're talking about Seattle's University District, which is a hot spot when it comes to my lunch places on my way home.
Yeah. There's a theme. And there's a theme that a lot of times people get stuck in, well, this is how we've always done it. And I'll bring that up into that topic. But right now, scenarios.
Here we go, yo. Here we go, yo. So what's the scenario?
My wife has an annoying habit of giving me the silent treatment whenever we have a fight. We don't fight often, and when we do, it's usually over something small, unimportant things. I think that's normal. You can agree with that. The silent treatment used to really bother me, and she knew it. That's why I think she would do it from time to time. It was kind of her weapon. But then I figured out a way to make it work to my advantage. Oh boy. I used that as me time. And I found a cool video game that I'm obsessed with. So now, when she does the silent treatment, I'm actually like, cool. I get to go and play my favorite video game. Now, it has turned into I don't care. I don't care enough because when there is an argument, instead of trying to fix it, I go and play video games. But before, when it was just the silent treatment, it was okay. But now I've found video games, now it's a problem. So I'm asking you, what should I do here? Should I suffer during the silent treatment or play the video games during the silent treatment? 888-973-5476 is the Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line. Ursula, you up the bat first.
This just sounds like two very immature people. First of all, her choosing to do the silent treatment thing, I know that a lot of people learn their argument or problem-solving skills from past generations. And maybe that's something that was learned, like, okay, that worked. She saw how that worked. She's going to do that. I just think it's a big, fat waste of time, the whole silent treatment thing. Just say what you need to say. Who has time to do the whole... And it backfired on her because then it's like, oh, great. Now I got video games. Now she's even more mad. How about you both try to solve the problem that created the silent treatment? How about you both grow up and actually have that conversation of whatever it is bothering you? Then you can go have more time for your video games and she can be, less upset. I don't get that. I think silent treatment is just an immature way to handle a problem.
Okay. I just want to say something.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say something, and when I say it, some of you guys will relate to it, some of you won't. But I'm going to tell you right now, y'all want to know when they really get mad? They really get mad when there's a silent treatment thing going on, and then all of a sudden they hear, EA Sports is in the game. Yo, when they hear that, they already know that you are you on vacation. EA Sports is in the game. That's like being on vacation. So they already know any power that they once had, it don't matter no more because they on vacation.
Yeah. How about y'all stop playing games with each other?
Exactly.
Let me give
games,
you
it's just games.
just a little relationship hack, and that is start complimenting your partner about the way that they disagree with you.
Ooh.
If you can tell your partner after one of your most contentious moments, hey, I really appreciate the way that you put this. I love it when you tell me this in this kind of way.
Yeah.
If you can let them know when they're communicating with you in an effective way,
positive reinforcement,
it builds trust.
Yes.
And then you can find a place where you can tell your partner hard things and trust that they will receive it. And you will also know that when they're telling you something that's difficult, that, okay, this is not coming from a place of, I want to throw a blade here and I want to win.
Right.
It's like, let's get through this. We got bigger fish to fry.
Right. Okay, Heidi in North Bend, she nailed it.
She nailed it. That's exactly what it is. And
yes.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so Heidi says what his wife is doing is called emotional manipulation, and she's mad that she doesn't have control over the situation now. Exactly.
EA Sports is in the game. And Heidi, you absolutely nailed that. That's why I'm not about to do this. Well, you both need to. No. You don't both need to do nothing. I bet you your wife gonna figure some things out now. Maybe she gonna stop with that emotional manipulation and stop using that as a thing. Now, look, I would love to be the better person like Jazz. Forget that. My man found a strategy to her immatureness, and he went to go do it.
Yeah, so how do you get out of that now, though? keep going. Just keep.
Yeah, maybe now she won't do that anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
She'll find a more evolved way of emotionally manipulating you.
Wait,
yeah.
Are you trying to say that people use evolved ways to do things? No.
Oh yeah, they get better and better.
I'm choosing joy. Good stuff. Oh, we don't. Okay, all right. I forgot we don't have that today. Hey, coming up next here on the Gee and Ursula Show, the 11 o'clock hour is absolutely packed with topics. One of those topics is we're going to go to Ursula's neighborhood in that area and what's going on in the U Village and how there was this awesome idea to do things. They got sign off. They did all of this stuff. I think they spent like $7,000 and then at the last minute, pearls got clutched and they didn't want to do it. So we'll be talking about exactly that next. Gee and Ursula.
EA Sports. It's in the game.
Join the conversation and text your favorite show on the KIRO Newsradio text line at 888-973-KIRO. That's 888-973-5476. Powered by Muckleshoot Casino Resort.
Hey, when was the last time you inspected your crawl space or your attic? What's the last time you went in there just to see what kind of shape they're in? Oh, never? Yeah, same. I don't want to go in there. Most homeowners completely avoid those areas, but it is important to check on them regularly. It's why you call Crawl Pros. They'll come out and go where you don't want to. Hey, it's Mike Salk here. And yes, when Crawl Pros came out to my place, they realized we had a little problem with our insulation. So they've set about fixing it and they did a great job. But if you've got the same problem, they'll also look to see what kind of energy rebates are available. Right now, local utility companies are incentivizing homeowners to make their home more energy efficient with proper insulation. And some homes qualify for several $1,000s in savings with these utility rebate programs. So don't just assume your crawl space and attic are in great condition. Do what I did. Call Crawl Pros today and schedule a free corner-to-corner inspection and find out if you've got water intrusion, mold, rodent issues, or even damaged insulation. Schedule your crawl space and attic inspection at crawlpros.com.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
From the FIFA World Cup to competitive business environments, grand ambitions lead to game-changing achievements. At Bank of America, we're there to support businesses at every step, providing insights and expertise to help you gain an edge.
He shoots, he scores!
What would you like the power to do? Explore winning business solutions at BofA.com/gamechangers. Bank of America, official bank of the FIFA World Cup 2026.
Giving your liver a spring cleaning is easy with Active Liver. From New Nordic, search for Active Liver by New Nordic on Amazon, CVS, Wegmans, or GNC.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News.
This is the story of Julie Guillot. She's a Leukemia and Lymphoma Society advocate and the mother of a child who battled blood cancer.
Zach was diagnosed with AML, a deadly leukemia, when he was only 5. While the treatment really attacked the cancer, unfortunately, it also attacked his body. Uncontrollable fevers, terrible nosebleeds, and his skin was burned from the inside out. He died at just 9 years old, really from the treatment that was meant to save him.
The Leukemia and Lymphoma Society was founded 70 years ago by parents who also lost their child to cancer. Today, we're pioneering breakthrough treatments for kids with cancer.
We are so close to finding better treatments for kids with cancer. So it's too late to save Zach, but working together, we can save thousands of kids just like him.
Visit LLS.org and save a child's life.
I just can't dig it.
Dig what?
My water line.
Needs replacing?
And I don't want digging in my yard.
And maybe your driveway.
Can't dig it.
Don't dig it.
But how do you?
Apollo Plumbing replaces water lines without digging up your yard.
You're Dan.
From the Ready Right Now plumbers.
Apollo Plumbing.
Our trenchless technology replaces water and sewer lines.
Without digging up my yard?
2 little holes is all it takes.
Sounds better.
Faster, too.
And my yard?
Like we were never there.
Sounds spendy.
Not so much.
Oh?
In the end, about the same as that messy digging you don't want.
How do you figure?
Think about that landscaping you love.
Yeah?
Trenchless means you won't be paying to replace it.
Or my driveway.
We run everything underground.
Trenchless?
Do them all the time.
How about...
Easy payments?
Yeah.
With approved credit. Sure thing.
When can you get started?
We are the Ready Right Now plumbers.
Love that.
Apollo Plumbing, trenchless waterline replacement.
Sewer lines, too.
Can you dig that?
That I can.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
Download to see if you qualify. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription required. Albert is not a bank. Albert Instant Loans are issued by FinWise Bank, member FDIC. Not an actual client. Terms apply.
Kylie, what's wrong? I just got hit with a car repair bill. I'm behind on rent, and I feel like I can never save any money.
Have you tried the Albert app? Albert is your financial assistant, helping you find ways to save and create custom budgets to actually grow your money. Plus, you can get up to $10,000 for big expenses, or advance up to $1,000 fast when you need cash right away.
Albert can get me up to $10,000?
Exactly. Albert spots you in a pinch and helps you grow your money in the long run.
I'm downloading Albert right now.
Download the Albert app and use promo code THRIVE to borrow up to $10,000 for whatever you need. The Albert app helps you budget better and save more money so you reach your financial goals faster. Download the Albert app right now and use promo code THRIVE to borrow up to $10,000. Use code THRIVE to borrow up to $10,000.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio, KIRO FM, and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. Talks between the U.S. and Iran suspended for now. Iranian media reporting that Israel is violating the ceasefire agreement by keeping up strikes in Lebanon. The conflict now entering its 14th week, along with the stranglehold on shipping through the Strait of Hormuz. ABC's Mary Bruce says Americans are feeling the pinch every day.
Gas is up more than $1.30 since the war began. There's a new analysis from Moody's that says that the average American household is now paying $450 more in gas and energy since the war started. So the economic pain of this is real.
In Colorado, a corrections department spokesperson confirming that Tina Peters is no longer in custody. That after being granted clemency by the governor. The former clerk convicted in a scheme to breach voting systems in search of evidence of election fraud in 2020. And in Laos, the race to rescue 2 remaining miners from flooded remote caves continues. Crews have located them. This is ABC News. A new survey shows the state of remote work and the impact it's having on recent graduates.
The New York Fed now says the unemployment rate among recent college graduates in remotable industries like software development is up marginally since the pandemic, about 1%. Meanwhile, for people over the age of 29 in those industries, the jobless rate is actually down slightly. Experts say that indicates employers may be more reluctant to hire younger generations for jobs that can be done remotely. In non-remotable industries like nursing, there's no notable difference between age groups. Mike Dubusky, ABC News.
In New England, residents are still rattled over that boom this weekend created by a meteor. And with most of those chunks of that fireball sinking in the Atlantic off of Massachusetts. In Hawaii, the Kilauea volcano erupting once again. Lava flows have raised the alerts in the region, and the U.S. Geological Survey says the plume from the latest eruption reaches 24,000 feet above sea level. Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
The man wanted in a triple shooting outside a Seattle nightclub pleads not guilty. But first, let's get a check on the roads with KIRO Newsradio real-time traffic. Everett to Seattle, about 50 minutes. Federal Way to Seattle is also 50 minutes. The last 2 miles continue to be a struggle out there. Everett to Bellevue is making some progress. We're at an hour and 10 minutes right now. This traffic report is brought to you by the Seattle Mariners. Don't miss firework nights all summer long, presented by T-Mobile. The next show is June 19th. Get your tickets at mariners.com/fireworks.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning. I'm Katrina Gashard. An 18-year-old Tacoma man pleaded not guilty in King County Court this morning to 3 counts of first-degree assault in a Capitol Hill shooting. Prosecutors say Jamari McQueen opened fire outside the Katora nightclub on East Pike just after 1 a.m. on May 18th after arguing with another man. Court documents say McQueen shot that man and also hit 2 bystanders. Douglas Wagner with the King County Prosecutor's Office says McQueen is held on high bail.
It reflects the extremely serious conduct and risk to public safety that this defendant represents in terms of being an extraordinary danger to the public.
McQueen's trial is set to start on July 20th. An Auburn police officer is arrested in an online child exploitation sting has been terminated. The 42-year-old who posted $100,000 bails just last month was fired today. Auburn police say the decision followed an internal review of the officer's off-duty actions. And the 2 people have been arrested in connection with the murder of 17-year-old Braylon Diaz in Parkland. The Pierce County Sheriff's Office tells the News Tribune a 26-year-old woman and a 25-year-old man were taken into custody just this morning in Snohomish County. Deputies say the pair pulled up in a car, robbed Diaz of his jewelry, and then shot him. Deputies are still searching for 2 more suspects. And 2 more gray whales have been found dead on Washington shores. KIRO 7 TV's Dee Sun reports.
One was found near Kalalik on the coast of the Olympic National Park. That's about 18 miles south from where the 23rd whale was found dead near Strawberry Point. The other whale was found on the coast of Ocean Park near Long Beach.
Marine biologists say many of the other whales appear to have died of starvation. Cleanup efforts are intensifying in Longview after the deadly implosion at the Nippon Dino Wave packaging plant that killed 11 workers. Hundreds of thousands of gallons of white liquor spilled into the city's stormwater outfalls and canal system. KIRO 7 TV's Jake Chapman reports.
Although the cleanup efforts are far from over, Chris Collins, Longview's Public Works Director, says they want to be thorough.
Before we call it done, we've checked every box and make sure that everything is safe before we give the green light for anybody.
As this community comes together through this tragedy.
Because this is a big impact to our community, and the vibe around Longview is that of a strong community.
Crews are working to mitigate the environmental impact, which has included the observation of thousands of dead fish affected in ditches and canal networks. And for your KIRO News Radio weather, sunshine today. Highs will be in the mid-70s. Right now, it's 61 in downtown Seattle. I'm Katrina Gashard, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO Newsradio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Good morning to all of you. Grateful that you're hanging out with us. Happy Monday to you. Good morning to you, Ursula.
Good morning. Question, do you enjoy solo travel? Do you like to go on trips by yourself? And the reason I'm asking this, G, is because coming up on Agree to Disagree, is it a red flag or the secret to a happy marriage? That is one of the questions that we're going to ask. Our Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line is 888-973-5476, 888-973-KIRO.
Top stories at 11.
On the Gee and Ursula Show.
So if you've ever looked at your mortgage balance and you're thinking like, am I going to be paying this until I'm 90 or am I ever going to be done with this? You are not alone. In case you missed it, Gene Balk at the Seattle Times wrote about it today, and he finds that Seattle is near the bottom among major U.S. cities when it comes to homeowners who own their homes free and clear. We're talking about just 31% in King, Pierce, and Snohomish counties have paid off their mortgages, making Seattle the 8th lowest metro area in the country.
Yeah.
Are you surprised by this at all?
No, I'm not. The fact that that the state of Washington ranks near the bottom, I think 8th from the bottom on this type of deal. And this means basically right now that 7 out of 10 homeowners still owe a mortgage, right? 7 out of 10 are chasing like, hey, bank, I would love to get that deed that's sitting in your drawer. Now, I do have my name on the mailbox. All the bills are in my name, right? But the actual deed is sitting in the drawer, which I think we can probably say that that's going to be even most people that's going to happen, right? Especially now. If homes right now in King County, you're talking about median home price of $900,000. That deed is probably, on a lot of folks, is going to stay in the drawer of the bank for a long time. So I guess I'm going to keep it simple and choose joy would be maybe sometimes home ownership, especially during this time, that isn't always maybe the goal. And I don't think that people should feel less than if they don't own a home, because look at it like timing, right? Sometimes you get married or get in a relationship and maybe the timing was right. Well, when it comes to real estate, sometimes it's timing, right? If you bought a home here in 2019-ish or 2020, you're able to get in on the nice sweet spot of interest rates. Good timing. Mm-hmm. Or if you bought during 2010 and 2011 after the recession, that was good timing. So it's all sometimes.
Or you bought before, for example, I just remember the first house that we bought in Ballard. We got it for $155,000. And then 10 years later, we sold it for $255,000.
You took advantage of that. That's great.
In 10 years. Yeah, in 10 years. So that was great. But then after that, it went to, like, today, it would be $900,000.
When did you buy the home?
It was in 1993. It was the same week we got married. 1993. Oh, wow. I know. It was like crazy. We got married and moved into our house. It was a tiny, tiny house in Ballard on 29th. And yeah, 1993, we sold it in 2003. Yeah. And then and already then we thought, oh, that was really cool. But then, the prices just kept going up and up and up, obviously. But looking at this, Seattle continues to get a lot of younger workers, especially with the tech boom. And so remember when they were just plunking down huge amounts of money and buying homes cash, and that jacked up the prices. Mm-hmm. And so people who were buying in when the homes were going for $1 million, yeah, I mean, for a lot of them, it's like, when am I going to pay this off?
You know what I wish they did? I wish they put a barrier, or guardrail. You like to use the term guardrail. I wish they had a guardrail on the amount of properties that these investment companies can come in and buy. These corporations can come in and buy. I wish there was a cap on that. Matter of fact, I wish that they were just allowed to buy just the commercial real estate and not any of these homes. And then that would make sure the price goes a little bit lower for the people. So a lot of times these investment firms come in, they'll buy, hey, we don't even need the inspection. We'll just buy as is, cash. Oh, what are you selling that for? Are you selling for $700,000? Here's cash. Here's $800,000. We'll take that.
So one of the things that Gene Balk points out is that among homeowners between the ages of 65 and 74 years old, fewer than half own their homes outright. And the only age group where a majority are mortgage-free are those who are 75 and older. So something to think about. Yeah. Hey, speaking of neighborhoods, Seattle's University District, when you think about it, they have some of the greatest little restaurants. And the Ave is a place where, the students can get great deals. Those of us who like to go into that neighborhood can get great deals. But there is a fight right now over cars versus people in the U District. There was a planned block party that would have closed one block of the Ave to traffic for 2 Saturdays. That has been canceled because city officials denied the permit. And the city was saying, you know what, we heard from nearly 80 local businesses who said, let's not close off the Ave to traffic on these 2 Saturdays. But now there are some business owners, according to the Seattle Times, whose names appeared on the petition, and they're saying, no, we didn't oppose this event. We actually want this. And others say they thought they were signing a petition against a permanent closure of the street, not a temporary weekend experiment. And so it's starting to sound a lot like the debate over Pike Place Market.
Right.
But I would love to hear your thoughts on that. I mean, And I know you were walking around Ruston over the weekend.
Yeah. So after $7,000 got spent, the fire department said yes. Metro said yes. SDOT said yes. Everything was ready to go, and then this petition comes, right? So if folks were scared about this petition that comes, and then when it gets shut down, and by the way, this was only going to be a test, like you said, Ursula, of 2 Saturdays. But then they're like, hey, I thought that it was going to be something else. I didn't know it was just going to be 2 Saturdays. The reason why I believe a lot of folks didn't know, because in my heart of hearts, I think that it was there for them to read about it.
Yeah.
They were just so fixated because whoever was handing them the petition was like, hey, you know they're going to go ahead and close this street, right? Oh, yeah, sign that right there. And then when they got to see it for themselves. So this reminds me of a lot of news that we talk about on a daily basis. People will read the headline. People will listen to, well, I just heard this person say.
So true.
Instead of reading it for themselves. Because the truth of the matter is a theme I keep saying today. People want to keep doing what they've always done. This is how we used to do it, G. And I just want to tell people, you want to know where growth lies? Growth is in change.
That's so true.
Growth is in change.
Yes.
So if you're scared,
sometimes it's in the pain.
If you're scared of change, then don't worry, you won't grow. And so now, unfortunately, they're in this situation.
Yeah.
Because this is what they said.
Do you think that streets should be closed more often to make it more walkable and more pedestrian friendly, just in general? Let's say we're talking about areas of Tacoma where you live, or Edmonds, because that was a big fight for Edmonds too, right? I mean, during the pandemic, they lost some parking because they were trying to make it much more
vehicle-free weekends.
Vehicle-free, yeah. Which
Carry
I
on
loved.
for a couple of years, and then
Which
the cars won.
Can I?
Yeah.
When you guys see these walkable places and you come and you're like, oh, what's going on over there? Has that ever pulled you out of your car to go out there and see what's going on?
As a matter of fact, yes, it has.
Thank you.
Yes.
Same to me.
Yes, farmers markets. Hello.
The idea that vehicle-free areas of a city for a specific period of times is anti-car is so ridiculous, because it's not like closing down one small portion of a street for a small period of time doesn't mean that people don't still take their cars to get there.
Yeah.
Exactly. Everybody's taking their car to get there still. It's just they're not parking on that one block.
You want to know, Ursula, what really actually sucks about having a walkable situation where people in a neighborhood get together? Is you get to know your neighbor.
You think that's the drawback?
Yeah. No, I mean, who
I'm
wants
going to tell you,
know their neighbor?
those night out events, I love those. I love those when they actually close off the street. Now, if someone might be saying, because Michael in Seattle just texted in and said, I would also like to discuss closing of Lake Washington every weekend throughout the entire summer, and that was for those bicycle Sundays. I think that's a bigger area too. I mean, we're talking about a small little stretch versus the whole what's that street? The
Lake Washington Boulevard.
Boulevard, yeah, exactly. I think that's a little bit different, and you got to look at what the impacts are going to be. But in a place like the U District, they could definitely use more walkable situation.
No doubt. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I just want to say this. We got more time. Go ahead.
Yeah, we do.
Go ahead.
Hey, earlier in the show, we were talking about whether it's okay to get the kids rot over the summer.
Yeah.
And we got a bunch of text messages. JP in the 253 wrote us this text, and he says, as a kid, I saved money all year to buy a season pass to Wild Waves. Then I would hop on the bus and spend the entire day there, so my mom always knew where I was. It gave me independence, it kept me busy, and created some of my very best summer memories. I'm not sure kids today get enough of that kind of freedom. First of all, JP, I think you're correct. But the other thing is, were you here when we said Wild Waves is shutting down after this final season? This is its 50th and final season.
Yeah.
So you heard about that. And now we're learning of what is going to replace the 66 acres of fun in Federal Way. It's going to be this giant warehouse, 1 million square feet of warehouse. And Como 4 News spoke with locals like David Cook, who are not happy to swap slides with semi-trucks.
I was there since we were 13, and now they're shutting down to be warehouses. It's terrible. The city's losing a gem. It's terrible.
Okay, I'm going to just say it again. Losing Wild Waves is a real bummer. I think it's a real bummer. I would have loved to have Wild Waves that close in that area and then to be replaced by a warehouse, but they don't list a tenant. But hundreds of semi-trucks are going to be requiring access to that property, and it is bounded by Milton Road South and Enchanted Parkway.
There's going to be so much more traffic, truck traffic through back streets and Federal Way. People are going to be leaving.
Well, okay. What do you guys want?
Get used to it.
All right. Well, obviously, Wild Waves is not going to be there anymore. And by the way, as a kid loving that kind of stuff, we all had our version of Wild Waves back in Chicago. We had this place called Fun Town that was just really cool. I think that now that it's not going to be there, my question would be now, what would you guys want there? If Wild Waves is gone, what would you rather have right there? Remember, it's right off the freeway. It's right there. What would be something that would be good there? Hopefully nobody says housing, because that's not very good, and we all know
housing. No, we have a housing crisis. More housing.
More housing?
Mm-hmm. With appropriate planning, streets,
you think
services.
So when we say housing, how housing would go there? Would it be really nice homes, or would it be
I think
apartment
it needs
complex?
to be more affordable housing. Hey, every single community in the entire part of Western Washington is going to have to do its part to provide more affordable housing. And that's not a $1 million home. That's not an $800,000 condo. Those are affordable for people who are in the lower to middle income levels.
Yeah. Well,
that's what we need more of.
I agree. We do need more affordable housing, but not next to a freeway. We have a history in this country of putting some of the homes in neighborhoods that have freeways next to them. It's not really a great thing to have. But I do agree with you, though. More affordable housing is definitely important. And your point about neighborhoods and everybody else accepting the fact that we do need more dense housing, apartments, would be a good thing.
Yeah. What would you want to see?
That's what I'm saying. I mean, I was just thinking the trucking or some type of somebody just texted saying light rail, but I was just thinking the trucking thing, it kind of makes sense. It's right there off the freeway. I couldn't see any type of. I guess the only thing
Mac
would
and
be.
Belty wants another Great Wolf Lodge.
I guess the only thing that I would say that would probably maybe make sense. Maybe since it's right off the freeway, maybe like a building that would go there. Maybe commercial type real estate would go there. So I just don't want to see apartments next to a freeway. That's the only thing. And the whole trucking thing, I didn't think about the fact that trucks in neighborhoods, that might play a factor, but I didn't see anything wrong with it at first.
Serene says, how about maybe a treatment facility or something more that South King County needs? Well, maybe they need business. Okay. Hey, we have a couple of minutes. I just want to plug, in case you guys haven't heard, Ask Ursula is something that I've been doing the last couple of weeks, and we've been getting great questions. But if you've had a question that you would like an answer to, whether it is a family dilemma, the Ask Ursula this week is, and I'm curious what you think about this. If you are divorced after having been married for decades and you get a divorce or you're separating, do you still expect your soon-to-be ex-in-laws to acknowledge you on birthdays and that kind of thing, because they've been doing it for 30-plus years, but now you guys are separating? Do you expect the relationship to continue? That's something that someone posed to me and shared that this person was very upset that the in-laws didn't acknowledge her birthday, but did acknowledge her daughter's birthday, which was about the same time. So I addressed that on Ask Ursula. If you have a question, mynorthwest.com/Ask Ursula is where you can do it. And I would love to help you solve a family dilemma.
By the way, you get like 1,000% of Ursula's attention for
Yes,
this.
you do.
Because normally Ursula's asked to solve a personal dilemma with zero lead time,
Yes.
no prep, within 30 seconds.
Yes.
You actually put a lot of thought into these.
No, I
and
do.
It shows.
And thank you for that. It has actually been one of the most satisfying things that I've done in a very, very long time. So if you have a question you've been holding on to, please do. If you haven't seen some of the earlier columns and responses, check them out on mynorthwest.com.
Good stuff. All right. We got text messages happening at 11:47. But up next, it's time for Agree to Disagree. Coming up next, Gee Ursula. This hour is brought to you by DUI Heroes.
KIRO News Radio, winner of 7 regional Edward R. Murrow Awards. Breaking news coverage, best newscast, excellence in writing, investigative reporting, sports reporting, hard news. Capped with a prestigious prize for overall excellence. And we thank you, our audience across the Pacific Northwest. You are the reason we strive to be the Northwest's trusted news source. KIRO News Radio. 97.3 FM.
Insulation rebates from PSE are at historic highs. American Crawl Space and Pest Services gave over $3 million in PSE insulation rebates last year, more than any contractor in Washington. Homeowners, business owners, and PSE trust American Crawl Space and Pest Services. Was your home built before 1990? Visit AmericanCrawl.com to see how much you can save on replacing your insulation.
American Crawl, the heroes you call.
The team that gave me back my full head of hair, Advanced Hair, is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. Dr. Parango and his world-class team begin regrowing your own natural hair the very next day. And Advanced Hair guarantees your new hair will grow, just like they did for me. Find out why Advanced Hair is the best of the best. With your free consultation, you'll receive $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
When Dennis suggested retirement planning to his wife, Linda, she had the same reaction lots of people do.
Do we really need it?
Then they attended a free seminar with elder law attorney Rajiv Nagayich at LifePoint Law.
He asked me, what do you want? And he truly listened. And at the end of it, it was like, we need to do this.
There are many people on the radio that speak about many things. And when we got here and actually worked with the team that Rajiv has put together, it turns out that it is not just talk, it is action.
And in the worst case?
I said to him, if something happens to Dennis, what would I do exactly? And he said, you pick up the phone and you call Rajiv or you call me. And that right there was like peace of mind.
Register for a free LifePoint Law retirement planning seminar in Tacoma on June 4th, Mukilteo June 6th, Lacey June 9th, or Bellevue June 13th, 6:30 p.m. Space is limited. Sign up at lifepointlaw.com. That's lifepointlaw.com.
If you're over 62 and feel squeezed by rising monthly bills, listen carefully. I'm Steve Teitler, owner of Best Mortgage. Every week I talk with seniors who love their home, want to stay in it, but feel more financial pressure every month. Property taxes are adding up. Insurance is up. Everyday bills are up, and for some, they still have a mortgage payment on top of all of that. Are you worried about outliving your savings? A reverse mortgage could help by eliminating your mortgage payment, paying off debt, and giving you breathing room every month. Now, let me be clear, it's not right for everyone. But for the right person, it can be a powerful tool. When you call Best Mortgage for a free consultation, you'll talk directly with me. I'll explain your options and tell you honestly if it makes sense for your situation. If you're 62 or older and want straight answers about staying in your home with less financial stress, call me today, 425-649-6000. Best Mortgage. Honest advice you can trust. 425-649-6000.
You bought an RV, and you got an automatic discount from Progressive by bundling it with your home or auto insurance. That's great, but a serious word of warning every RVer should heed. You don't need to talk about things like dry weight or dump stations. And you don't need one of those expensive water filter straws either. Because the most extreme thing most RVers encounter is a campsite without hookups. So just enjoy yourself. And Progressive's automatic discount when you bundle your RV, boat, or motorcycle with your home or auto insurance. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states or situations.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
Missing teeth? You may qualify for full mouth implants at a reduced cost using your medical insurance. Call South Seattle Smiles today at 206-241-5533 to see if you're a candidate. Your new smile starts now. SouthSeattleSmiles.com.
Guys, it's Men's Health Month at Revive Seattle. Get a free comprehensive wellness panel. It checks your testosterone, blood sugar, heart health, and more. Valued at $400. Offer ends June 30th. Call 206-529-1111 or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Step inside and let the excitement take you places. This is Muckleshoot Casino Resort, the ultimate spot for action that reaches incredible heights, luxury that knows no bounds, and live entertainment that always thrills. It's all at one incredible destination. So when you look for the best, look nowhere else. Muckleshoot Casino Resort, the biggest and best in the Northwest. Muckleshoot.
Your medication for enlarged prostate is working. That's what you tell yourself. You're up 3 times a night instead of 5. The urgency is manageable. The stream's not great, but it's fine. That's the problem. Fine. Enlarged prostate, or BPH, doesn't pause because the medication takes the edge off. The prostate keeps growing. The bladder keeps working harder. And over time, those changes can be harder to reverse. But surgery? Not for you, right? Aquablation is not the surgery you're picturing. It's the only ultrasound-guided, robotic-assisted therapy for enlarged prostate. Don't wait until things become unbearable. Find an Aquablation urologist near you. Call Aquablation Seattle at 206-666-2466. 206-666-2466. That's 206-666-2466. All surgical treatments carry risks and results may vary. Side effects may include urinary symptoms, mild pain, ejaculatory dysfunction, or infection. In rare cases, complications to the urethra and rectum may occur. Aquablation therapy may not be right for everyone. Talk to your urologist to learn more. Visit aquablationseattle.com.
Hartley here from Wilcox Farms. For over 100 years, we've cared for hens with healthy pastures and organic grains. That's why our eggs are nutritious and flavorful. Next time you shop, choose Wilcox Family Farms, locally fresh since 1909.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Good morning. I'm Katrina Gashard. The stalemate between Iran and the U.S. continues. Iran has said they've stopped sending messages to the U.S. and are threatening to not leave their patrols of the Strait of Hormuz. This comes after a marathon meeting with President Trump and his national security team last week. More from ABC's Karen Travers at the White House.
The president on Friday had met in the Situation Room here at the White House for several hours with national security advisors and said in a social media post that he was going to make a final determination about a proposal. We have not heard word from the president on what that final determination is. And now sources say that he has sent back to Iran proposed changes on an agreement. No details on what that looks like at this point.
Recovery teams have spent days navigating dangerous chemical debris at the Longview Mill site, working methodically to locate and bring back every victim of the deadly implosion. KIRO 7 TV's Jake Chapman reports.
The implosion also spilled hundreds of thousands of gallons of white liquor, which got into the diking and ditching system for the city through stormwater outfalls.
We have seen dead fish in the ditches in the canal network in Longview.
But we do know it spread pretty prolifically through our system.
Chris Collins is Longview's Public Works Director. He says the drinking water is safe, but the white liquor has made the pH levels in the impacted systems higher than normal.
The Seattle Kraken are set to bring Melinda French Gates into their ownership group, according to ESPN, marking her first investment in a major professional sports franchise. French Gates says she was inspired by majority owner Samantha Holloway's leadership and the team's growing impact in Seattle. A new indoor pickleball center opened this weekend in Federal Way. The Pickler grand opening celebration drew families and players of all ages with free clinics, challenges, and giveaways. This young player tells KIRO 7 TV.
It was great, awesome, fun, a lot of courts, and very challenging.
The Pickler also recently opened a 10-court site in Seattle's Fremont neighborhood. Over in Snohomish County, 3 residents are undergoing rabies treatment after exposure to a bat that tested positive last week. The first case was in Snohomish County since 2023. It is the second in all of Washington this year. Susan Babcock is a public health nurse at the Snohomish County Health Department.
It really is about only 1% of the population that's rabid. So it's not, I would say it's definitely not every summer that we get a positive bat.
Health officials say this one flew into a rural home last Sunday. We'll have more information on our website, mynorthwest.com. And for your KIRO News Radio real-time traffic right now, Linwood to Bellevue about 19 minutes, Linwood to Seattle about 17 minutes, Federal Way to Seattle also 26 minutes, Renton to Bellevue about 27. This traffic report is brought to you by KIRO News Radio. And for your forecast, sunshine is on the way and warm temperatures. Highs will be in the mid-70s. Right now, it's 62 in downtown Seattle. I'm Katrina Gashard, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Welcome back to the Gee and Ursula Show. Happy Monday to all of you. It is time for us to agree to disagree, brought to you by Guardian Roofing and Gutters.
One of these days, we just got to take off the gloves, just really go at it.
So we're going to talk about the relationship red flag that could be the key to the most successful relationships. So if you spend any time online, you'll know that solo travel is booming. There's millions of these videos that celebrate the freedom of taking trips by yourself. And a lot of those videos are posted by solo travelers who happen to be married. Needless to say, this is controversial. A lot of people say, red flag, back up, hold on. You're married and you're traveling alone. That is a sign that there's something wrong with your relationship. Others say, actually, no, this is the key to recharging. And, having a little independence is the reason why I'm in this still successful relationship. So, Ursula, if you see solo traveling by someone who's part of a married couple, is that a red flag to you or, hey, strong relationship?
It depends on the couple. And I say that because if you don't enjoy traveling with your partner at all and you're only doing solo trips, I would say that's a red flag. But if you have a nice balance and you can go on those solo trips and it seems to make your relationship that much more interesting and doesn't hurt it, I think that is a sign of a very strong and confident partner that you have. And I would wholeheartedly support it. It's something, frankly, that we have been able to do now that the kids are out of the house. I don't have grandkids. And we both love to travel, but Mark is not always able to go when I can go, and vice versa. So sometimes he will do a trip with a friend and just go It's also camping. But
what is that?
But
it's
when
also
I've got,
camping.
I know, well, because I wouldn't want to go anyway. But and I wholeheartedly encourage that. And then conversely, he is supportive when I go on a girls' trip, but I also enjoy traveling with him.
All right.
Yeah.
Gee.
So first, this topic is subjective to all couples. So if you're a couple and you do solo trips and she does solo trips, I'm not judging because you just never know. It works for them. And what works for them might not work for you. And what works for you might not work for them. So I want to give that respect first. Second, as for me, I do solo trips when I go work.
Mm-hmm. Business, yeah.
Business, work. When I do a regular trip, I would rather do the trip with my wife.
Same.
That's me. Now, there's somebody listening right now, and I'll ask a question. It's real simple. If you're getting ready to take a trip, which trip would you rather take? One solo or one with your significant other? I'm not judging you either way, right? But for me, if I would rather go on trips solo, then why the hell am I married? Mm-hmm. That's for me, though. That's how I look at life. If my kids was like, hey, Dad, what do you think I should do? I don't know. Do what floats your boat. I don't know what's going on. I can't speak for everybody else. But for me, my solo trips are when I go work.
Yeah.
My leisure trips, when I'm chilling and I ain't got to worry about, I forgot my toothpaste. She got it. I forgot this. She got it. So one of the biggest reasons why I like traveling with my wife is because I got everything.
She's got you covered.
Because when I'm by myself, I don't even tell her how much I buy stuff. Oh man, I forgot my toothpaste. Man. So me, I want to travel.
Louis Vuitton.
I want to travel with my wife.
Yeah, and because you are in a situation where you travel multiple times a month.
Yes. Yeah.
And so I totally get that. I've been married for over 30 years. Mm-hmm. And for the longest time, we couldn't do anything other than all family trips.
Right.
And right now I'm in that phase where, hey, every once in a while, it's kind of fun to do something separate from my partner.
Sure.
But, the vast majority of time, it's the two of us. And I'm thinking also in retirement years, and I'm curious if other people are in this boat after you retired, if one is still working and the other one's retired. I know that my husband's probably going to work longer than I do. And so is it going to be okay for me to travel while he's still working?
Oh, Ursula. Okay. I know you and I know Long Live Mark. So
Yes.
I know it works for you, but from the outside,
yes.
If I was talking to my son, for example, G, and he's like, yeah, well, my wife goes on like 3 or 4, trips with her girlfriends to Vegas every year. And I'm like, that seems like a lot going by yourself. Well, do you get solo time by yourself? And he's like, yeah, I go camping. And I'm like, that's different. Yeah. You don't have a chance to interact with a bunch of other inebriated people. That would seem like a huge red flag to me.
Yeah.
I'm not judging you because I know you.
You also know I don't drink.
Yes.
So it's not.
Yeah.
That's not going to be.
I'm in your camp, G, where why are you, if you spend that much time apart, I don't know.
Now, I will say this. I do love it when my wife goes and takes, matter of fact, earlier in this month, she and her girls, they all went down to Scottsdale.
Yep.
I absolutely love it. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna take a sweeping statement. I'm probably getting in trouble for it. I've been sounding like the good husband for a whole time, and it don't feel good. So now I got to be the bad guy. Here we go.
You enjoy it when she leaves.
What? Hey, ladies, let me tell you something. When y'all get ready to go to the airport, the husbands is like, oh, when you leaving?
I'm going to miss you.
Oh, you know what? You guys have fun. Because it's going to be EA Sports. It's in the game. Whatever your video game is, because it don't take much for us fellas. You mean to tell me I get to come home and watch some of my boring documentaries and stuff like that? Yes. Go have fun.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. See, now the truth comes out. Ben from Mercer Island says sometimes a solo trip could actually save a marriage. And I would say that's the case as well, too. But you have to be secure in your relationship to do that. Absolutely. That would be one. It also has to be the timing of it all. And it needs to be extended to both sides. It can't just be one going on all the trips.
Yeah, I suppose that's true. Gee, do you make real sure you know when her return flight is? Because I know, like, if Gabby goes somewhere for a work trip or she's visiting friends, I'm like, okay, so your flight gets in at 12:30 on Sunday. Okay, that means I got until about 1:30. I gotta clear out everything from the sink. I gotta put everything back in its place because I know, it's free time for me.
I don't have that problem.
I know you don't.
Yeah. Usually I don't know when she's getting back. Actually, I don't know. Like they gonna show up.
She ain't showing up at the airport.
Oh, hey, it's you. Welcome back.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Mark picks me up from the airport.
Look, I mean, the last time she and her friends, all of them, they got to the airport. But no, being serious, another reason why I like it for my wife to take those trips because, look, man, they gonna go do stuff that I don't want to do.
Yeah,
exactly. They want to go to this little stuff and they want to whatever it is that they do.
Need some girl time.
I don't want to do that.
Yeah,
and they want to have their girl time, and I think it's great. And I know my wife likes it. So as a husband, I think a lot of times you're like, look, if my wife is happy doing it, go do it.
Yeah.
Go take another trip.
And you're not suffering. And what you're saying is you're not suffering. Aaron in Auburn says, I didn't even think about that if she's going alone. I'm so stoked to be here by myself. I can just go fishing. I know all the spots. Don't have to worry about.
Fellas, you already know. You got a thing to do. You know what you're going to be doing.
You can eat whatever you want. Man. Order whatever you want.
You can go camping.
Oh, Nikki says, wait, G isn't picking Lillian up from her flight? It depends. It depends. No, if I need to pick her up, I will. But sometimes if she's got a ride already, that's even better. All right, text messages, feedback, and then Ursula's words to live by. Jen Ursula.
KIRO News Radio, winner of 7 regional Edward R. Murrow Awards. Breaking news coverage, best newscast, excellence in writing, investigative reporting, sports reporting, hard news. Capped with a prestigious prize for overall excellence. And we thank you, our audience across the Pacific Northwest. You are the reason we strive to be the Northwest's trusted news source. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
My friend Jonathan over at DUI Hero says that DUI arrests increase around the holidays and into the month of June. So if you or someone you know is pulled over for DUI, contact DUI Heroes immediately. They'll defend the person and not the mistake. DUIs can be very complicated, but there's always a person behind the action, a person who needs help getting their life back on track. That is what DUI Heroes helps with. Your DUI defense specialist, 1-800-DUI-HERO. That number is answered 24/7, DUIHeroes.com.
The team that gave me back my full head of hair, Advanced Hair, is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. Dr. Perungo and his world-class team begin regrowing your own natural hair the very next day. And Advanced Hair guarantees your new hair will grow, just like they did for me. Find out why Advanced Hair is the best of the best. With your free consultation, you'll receive $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Progressive knows you could have easily taken the freeway, but you took the scenic route to see a waterfall and an oddly busy boiled peanut stand. Discovering the unexpected is exactly why you bought an RV, so protect it with a bundle from Progressive. Because although you may be 3 hours behind schedule, you're 6 jars of jam richer and possibly enrolled in a butter churning workshop. Switch to Progressive and protect your RV, boat, or motorcycle by bundling with your home and auto insurance. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Nick, you know what my dad always used to say?
Oh, which thing? Let me guess. If you put anything on a hot dog besides mustard, it's un-American?
Okay, that's true. Okay, but no, about the word worry. Remember he used to say about the word worry?
Yes, that it's not a verb, but it actually is.
I know it's a verb, but Nick, his point was nothing comes from worrying. You can sit here and worry about all the news and all about the chaos in the world. You worry about your health, but nothing comes of it. You have to take action.
Right.
Like, for instance, you and I, we go into Longevity Medical Clinic. That's an action. It's about taking that action. Like, people can go to Longevity Medical Clinic, take the free health analysis, and then they can find out how they're aging and the things they can do in order to slow down the process to have a big, full, rich life so you can enjoy a hot dog with whatever you want on it.
And now worry is a verb.
See, there you go. So it all starts for you taking action. I was a patient at Longevity long before I started doing these commercials. So get your free health analysis. Go to lmclinic.com. That's lmclinic.com.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 877 Cars for Kids to speak to a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Go to carsforkids.org now or call 877 Cars for Kids to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K.
Best Mortgage is proud to be the longest running mortgage company on KIRO Radio.
For 34 years, they've been giving honest advice you can trust as your VA loan and reverse mortgage experts and debt consolidation specialists, too. Just web search Best Mortgage.
Wait, everything on this IHOP value menu is just $6?
I told you it was amazing. A huge plate of pancakes, bacon, and eggs is just $6.
Wow.
There's also French toast, a ham and cheese omelet, and oh, they got a BLT and fries now.
Okay, we're coming here every day.
You don't have to tell me twice.
Feast for just $6 with the IHOP value menu. $7 in some locations, available every day for a limited time at participating restaurants in the U.S. Hours may vary. No substitutions. Not valid with other discounts or promotions. Prices may vary.
Progressive provides protection for your boat and other outdoor vehicles so you can explore new things.
Oh, I can finally try pesto.
We meant like water skiing.
I've just never had pesto.
Or maybe take the boat somewhere new.
I mean, is pesto spicy or sweet? Oh, guess we'll find out, right?
Right. Bundle home or auto insurance with your boat, RV, or motorcycle and stay protected with Progressive while you explore.
I don't know. Maybe I'm not ready for pesto.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Not available in all states or situations.
It's Gee and Ursula, everybody. Thank you guys for hanging out. The show means the world. Now it's time to get to those good old text messages. What's your excitement?
Yeah, go ahead.
What's your excitement level for the World Cup? Tamara in Tacoma says, I will be avoiding Seattle during FIFA. 0 interest. Traffic is bad enough up there without an international event.
Okay. The traffic this weekend, that was like the worst for me in a long, long time. And I was thinking, oh, is this going to be what it's like here in a couple of weeks? Eric in Columbia City says, World Cup excitement level 0. Okay, with the few minutes we have left, we got to find someone who's super excited. Who is juiced up about
no one?
Me?
Gee.
Scale of 1 to 10?
You're going to have an awesome experience.
Looking forward to it. Can't wait. North Bend housing prices spiking. Locals concerned about losing that small town feeling. Jeremy in North Bend says, I am from the North Bend area. We do not want any more people.
Okay,
Stay
Jeremy,
out of
sorry.
Washington.
Sorry. Okay, maybe this explains it because Heidi in North Bend says there's nothing small town about this place anymore and the traffic is awful.
Carrie in Bonnie Lake says North Bend was a teeny little town full of Pacific Northwest weirdos. We are, and we can admit it, back in the 70s and 80s. But family members were living in the apartments and duplex type situation there in the early 2000s. So I'm not sure what the deal is with no condos until 2023. Like inside city limits, maybe?
Andy in Newcastle says, preserving character is modern day redlining. It's not just in small towns. This preserving character argument applies in every neighborhood. And go ahead. Andy's a smart man.
Andy is, yeah. Carl in the 253 says, my son works for Kenworth in Renton, makes $92,000 a year, but can't afford anything within 30 miles. Also, flippers have inside track to buy cheaper properties that young people used to buy, but put in sweat equity. Flippers increase the cost of houses by $100,000-$200,000, pricing first-time home buyers out. Carl in 253, thank you for that text. And just think, someone making $92,000 a year cannot afford to live where they work within 30 miles.
Yeah, that's just sad. And Emily in Kirkland says, until we regulate developers building quote unquote luxury housing, nothing is going to change, I fear.
Yeah. Russell Wilson has joined CBS as a sports analyst.
And you know what your level of excitement is?
0. Christine in Wallingford says, oh, come on, Mr. Unlimited. How can you not be excited?
Okay, you need to do this next one, too, because I need you to do the
John in the 360 says, let's ride. Let's ride. Let's ride.
Broncos country, let's ride. Broncos country, let's ride.
Oh, boy. That's going to be
just throw up in your mouth a little bit, G.
Oh, no. Okay, I'm hoping that he surprises us all, and maybe we'll see some big personality.
He's going to start acting presidential any day now.
Is it okay to let your kids rot all summer long? Aaron in Auburn says, I absolutely feel the pressure to give my kids some activities or structure this summer. I would love to send them to camp, but it's so expensive, and we'd have to multiply the expense times 2 for our 2 kids. I fear they are going to rot on screens all summer, which makes me feel like a total failure as a parent. It is tough. And as I said, Aaron, we need to give ourselves grace, and sometimes that extra downtime is okay.
Our good buddy Tom texts in and says, we left the house at 8 o'clock in the morning to go outside and play. We were at the back porch at noon for lunch, and then we had to be home by 5 o'clock for dinner. Other than that, nobody knew where we were. I just want to say, it sounds so nice.
I know.
It sounds so nice.
Why can't we solve the issues on Aurora Avenue with the sex trafficking and specifically young kids who are trafficked? We did an interview with Claudia Rowe from the Seattle Times. I encourage you to listen. If you missed that interview, listen to it on our podcast. Mike in Point Defiance says, former foster parent here. Nice to hear an informed person talk about the challenges of the system without carelessly blaming foster parents or the state employees involved. Instead, she directed her frustration to the correct target, our elected representatives.
Mary in Queen Anne says, why doesn't anyone talk about the boys on the street? Because they are more hidden, they are just as young, as brutalized, etc.
And then Mark in Nisqually said, thank you, G. I'm glad to hear someone talking about going upstream to try to intervene earlier.
All right. Paul the 253 said the funny text. Ursula, it's time for words to live by. What do you got?
I'm going to quote Bruce Lee. As we try to keep...
Bruce Lee has never came to the show.
I know. So Bruce Lee says this, and it's about choosing joy, but it says, choose the positive. You have choice. You are master of your own attitude. Choose the positive, the constructive. Optimism is a faith that leads to success.
Good stuff. I just, Ursula, I want, maybe I'm speaking to a very specific, a small niche of Gen X and baby boomer boys, especially Gen X boys. When Bruce Lee would come on when we were younger, it was like the greatest thing in the world. Now, what I won't do is, and I've told my wife this, and she'd probably listen, and I don't want to tell this, but it also had me, I'm from Chicago, born and raised, so when I would see Bruce Lee movies, and I would see everybody there, I had this idea, because of what I saw Bruce Lee, growing up, I thought that everyone Asian knew karate,
knew
kung
martial
fu.
arts expert?
Yes.
But I get that. You were a kid.
I was a kid.
Yeah.
I mean, but just letting you know what TV can do to you. Because you watch the TV and everybody in the town knew kung fu.
Kung fu fighting.
All right, we got to get out of here. Thanks, Ursula.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chef. Oh, Mike, thank you, brother.
Glad to be back.
All right, Jake and Spike Show coming in next. Appreciate you for listening. Love you for that. And as always, be kind.
Hope you have as much fun as we have. So long, everybody.
Your old furnace ain't nice, and your toes are like ice.
DayandNight.net.
This month, Day and Night gives you a free furnace with the installation of an AC or heat pump.
If you're not sure your furnace will make it through another winter, call us to install a proper, long-lasting, efficient heating system backed by our lifetime workmanship guarantee, so you won't be left out in the cold.
Install an AC or heat pump and get a free furnace from Day and Night Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric.
DayandNight.net.
Are you an adult with uncontrolled moderate to severe Crohn's disease symptoms and still packing a backup bag of clothes? Just in case? Skyrizi Risankizumab Riza can help you take control of your Crohn's. Feel significant symptom relief, including less abdominal pain and fewer bowel movements at 4 weeks. Plus, Skyrizi is proven to help people achieve remission and visibly improve damage of the intestinal lining. Individual results may vary. Skyrizi is a prescription injection medicine. Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines. Liver problems leading to hospitalization may occur when treated for Crohn's. Ready to take control of your Crohn's? Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 prescribed biologic in Crohn's disease.
Control is everything to me.
Learn more at skyrizzy.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZZY.
KIRO News Radio, winner of 7 regional Edward R. Murrow Awards. Breaking news coverage, best newscast, excellence in writing, investigative reporting, sports reporting, hard news. Capped with a prestigious prize for overall excellence. And we thank you, our audience across the Pacific Northwest. You are the reason we strive to be the Northwest's trusted news source. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM. KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle.
What would you do if the person you love needed round-the-clock care and you had no plan to pay for it?
I was very worried about running out of money.
When Mike's wife was diagnosed with dementia, he turned to LifePoint Law and Elder Law attorney Rajiv Nagayich.
And then he said, you're going to be okay, but we have to get through these steps. Then I felt a whole lot better going into it. It was still a very difficult process, but in the end, I knew that there was someone there that if I needed help, understood what I'm going through.
LifePoint Law helped Mike protect his wife, his finances, and his future.
They laid it out really well up front. They give you a very in-depth plan. There are so many things that you don't know. I could never have done it on my own.
Register for a free LifePoint Law retirement planning seminar in Tacoma on June 4th, Mukilteo on June 6th, Lacey on June 9th, or Bellevue on June 13th. 6:30 p.m. Space is limited. Sign up at lifepointlaw.com. That's lifepointlaw.com.
I've been burned before. I was just repeating the same patterns. It turns out I had a type.
Workplaces everywhere are looking for love. And by love, we mean the easy way to order food at work. Easy Cater.
I thought ordering from great restaurants at work had to be complicated, but then I met Easy Cater. So many options, so flexible, and when I ordered for 50 gluten-free vegans without going over budget, I knew I'd found the platform I wanted to do life and lunch with.
Fall in love with Easy Cater. Start an order at easycater.com.
Why'd I go to the doctor? Working on the farm, my heart kept skipping a beat. I didn't think much of it, but my daughters made me get checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Giving your liver a spring